Viewer discretion is advised.
That was really weird clipping. Not really sure what's going on here, but happy Thursday. You're listening and or watching Pwnecast. This is episode 222, and we are in patch 8.0. With us getting closer to Blizzcon, unfortunately, my squirrel seems to just get worse. So to help combat that, I have deployed Stalin here to join us this week to talk about all random things, including PvP. I apologize if you heard my children screaming in the background. I don't have my air conditioner on because too many people bitch about it. So, you're going to have to hear my children scream randomly, and hopefully they will get duct taped or something if my husband's on his job. We're not really sure, but make sure you guys hold on your ruse because we've got info, bad jokes, voice impressions, mustaches even. Like, we've got it all covered on tonight's episode of Pwnecast. So we have that and much, much more. So make sure you guys stay right here.
In 2014, a crack commando unit was banned from trade chat for comments they didn't make. These men and women promptly escaped from the Stormwind stockades to the Iron Forge underground. Today, still hunted by the trolls of trade chat, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, then maybe you can hire the Pwnecast. Leader and brains of the operation, it's Belle.
I want tacos so bad.
Betrayer of the priestly order and huntard extraordinaire, it's Remedies.
Then how did you eat it in the first place?
Lovable defender of the lesser races of Azeroth, it's Murky.
Because a turtle made it to the water.
With the Pwnecast team assembled, let the battle for Azeroth begin.
You know, I might be a little partial, but those animations that I added are quite on point. I don't know if everybody else feels that way. I mean, they're super ghetto, but I mean, I'm new, so at least I did something. But I guess I could unmute these fine gentlemen here with me tonight.
We've been talking about whips and leather.
Oh
Whips
my.
and leather. Yeah.
This is very dangerous to be unmuting us, comrade.
Oh yeah, you might be right about that. But then again, some of us might be interested in.
In Cold Night in Russia.
Maybe all of us
Leather.
might be interested. In fact, I don't
know.
You
The
missed
jury's
out,
still
but
out on
you were talking about your unruly children. He had a great idea.
Yes. You see, with unruly children in Russia, we use zip tie. You know, like big HVAC tube zip tie.
We use that here when people owe you money. Is that the same thing?
Very similar.
I feel like I don't know.
Yeah.
You guys probably still hear my under fan here because it's.
Cheers to that.
I'm trying to reduce the
These
swamp ass.
excellent
So
mug. These excellent mug.
anyway, guys, welcome back. If you are new to Pwnecast, my name is Belle. I think that's my name. Maybe.
Who am I?
Well, I feel like it could be several.
I
other names.
am Ron Burgundy.
Oh, I could be Ron Burgundy, honestly.
I thought his name was Robert
Greatest
Paulson.
American newscaster ever. We see
Wait.
Russia. He is excellent.
With me are my two co-hosts, Remedies, who is still gullible, and Murky, who is still the magical Murloc.
Oh boy!
Wow.
We were
Also,
talking earlier of Steamboat Willie.
also joining us this fine October kind of evening, because it's still light outside, which is a little weird, our good friend and audio intro creator. He is the brains behind the new audio intro, Winstead, a.k.a. Winstalin, from Technically PvP Podcast, as well as Russia. Question.
Yes, Privet Durgmoin, comrades of arms. Yes,
What?
Greetings, my friends.
That. How long did it take you to grow
Greetings
that?
to you.
How long did it
No,
take you
this
to grow
is-
that
I know-
mustache?
Mustache? This. You see, we are born with things like this in Russia.
Oh, even the ladies.
Oh, the ladies are grown with other parts.
So
You see, if you lack the hair
full-grown
in
bushes. Then
Russia,
you're saying.
if you lack the hair in Russia, you freeze. So the women are very bearish.
Bearish.
Yes.
Would you call it beaverish or no?
Big, beautiful bears.
Big, beautiful bears.
Yes.
You know, our strat leader and friend, Envy, a.k.a. Gabe, he is in Russia right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's...
I hope he keeps head down.
Apparently, there's quite a bit of Russian hookers to go around at the hotels.
We have, I mean, just ask President Trump. We have best Russian prostitute in the world.
He would probably know. And to be fair, if I was president, I probably would know as well.
Exactly. We whenever president come from any country, we offer only the best.
You guys are great people that you just keep...
Yeah, they just mail them to you, too, across the waters and all that.
I got an email saying my Russian bride was ready a couple weeks ago, and I got excited because I thought, well, hot damn.
Be careful, because we send out the ugly ones.
Oh, that's terrible. Here, we just keep them, and we have to call them pretty on social media because it offends people. So we have to call ugly people pretty.
This is true.
We're not allowed to have opinions on social media because then we're terrible people for having
about the pretty on Twitter.
Excuse me, I think I am terribly sorry. I hear somebody coming.
Is it a Russian hooker?
Could be. I am terribly sorry, comrade. Excuse me for one moment.
I feel like I don't.
You all want their women, and I want their $11 steaks.
Hello, who is it?
Oh, good. Oh, what's happening?
Oh my!
Is he beating a child? Guys, are we witnessing some type of domestic dispute in the Windstallen house? Should I stop recording so that we don't have evidence?
Oh my gosh!
Wow! Sorry about that, guys. Windstallen can tend to be a little bit of a punk every time I'm guesting on shows.
He takes over, right?
He really does, so I kind of had to take care of him there.
Move your mic down a little bit so we can hear you. Windstallen has more of a, command.
Is that so? How is this better?
I don't know why you turned down.
Well, we could turn this up just a titch right
just
there.
turn it.
There we go. Yeah, so sorry about that. Windstallen's a bit of a prick. I always have to check my brake fluid whenever I'm guesting on shows.
That's
because
terrible.
I tend
to...
I change my my turn signal fluid all the time too. It's okay.
Yeah.
I heard your little guy, and I thought perhaps there was some abuse going on in the home, so we didn't know what was going on back there.
No, it's okay.
Was he helping you? Is that what happens? He helps you?
Yes. Windstallen fought back a little bit, but we overtook him.
Okay.
That's what I would do too. That's what I would do.
Everybody's fine.
Yeah, it's good that you stalled him now.
For some strange reason, we found some zip ties on him. Really helped out in the situation. It was perfect.
Yeah, somebody might have owed him money.
Well, he owes me money, but...
Oh, that's what you need the zip ties for.
Well, he had them, so...
Somebody from a past life once told me that's how people collect their debts, when you owe them money.
Possibly. I thought it was duct tape as well.
Duct tape is very useful, and it's part of every white person's toolkit, and this isn't an insult to white people.
Yeah, it's good for timeouts, it's good for people in the closets, and it's good for shutting people up.
Who would put someone in the closet, Bram?
How embarrassing to be taken by your own tools and weaponry.
To be quite honest, I'm kind of in the closet right now, because this is my sound booth that I built.
It's a great sound booth.
And so...
But when you
can you have air conditioning in your sound booth without people getting all pissy about your background noise?
A USB fan, incredibly quiet, and pushes just enough air that my little 4x4 box.
You don't die.
Just stays just cool enough.
Fix your camera, and is he still quiet to anybody else, or is it just me?
He's fine to me.
To you guys, okay. What about you guys on stream? Can you guys hear him okay? He seems like he's quiet to me.
If you guys need me to talk louder, I'm more than willing to talk
louder. Still go down a little bit, otherwise we're going to get
the camera down.
The inside of your nose, and that's not fun for anyone.
Oh.
Okay.
Hi.
Okay, that's perfect. Perfect.
Thank you for taking care of Windstallen. I love you. Bye.
Look at that.
Are you really in a closet, or is it just a giant refrigerator box?
Well, no, but when he leaves, he's going to look fabulous now, though, so it's okay.
I'm always fabulous, guys.
Right. That's exactly what I say. Guys, I'm sorry.
Fabulous.
Oh, Jesus, excuse you.
You're already sweating.
No, my back. So, from all these packaging up of things, my back is killing me. My carpal tunnel. I'm just a hot mess this week of
No, you're just a mess.
Yeah, I
Don't
really
you bow
am. I don't even know how I'm sitting here, to be perfectly honest. I didn't even know what day it was. My brother's like, hey, could we have dinner Tuesday? And I'm like, but what is today? Because I thought today was Tuesday. Turns out it wasn't Tuesday. So let's get started. For Tuesday's reset, which is going to be October 9th, we have the World Quest bonus event. This is a good one. Just, can you pick it up before you go and do World Quest? Because don't be like me and get all your emissaries done, and then you're like, oh, there's this quest that I should have picked up, and then you have to do it all over again. So don't do that. Don't be that
reward like 1,000 resources.
Yeah, it is great because I like to do the Azurite missions for my phone, so it allows me to quickly beef all that up without doing these little jank 35, 45 resource missions.
What I do when we're filming, so.
You do what?
I do the Azurite on my phone while we're on the show.
Wow, you're not supposed to admit that.
I do it when I'm taking a poo. Does that count? Or
That's gross.
why? That's effective toilet time. That's multitasking at its finest. No?
It truly is.
The irony is a shower with my phone, so.
That's because of your butt selfies. But also, Dark Moon Fair, October 7th. So go get your buffs.
10%. Yep. Get your buffs.
Gotta
your
get
10%.
all those
Get your
buffs.
finely tailored shirts so you could look dapper like one of Murky's transmogs.
Hmm.
A little tuxedo.
Oh, yeah, the black and gold embroidery tuxedo. 75 tokens for the shirt and pants.
Can I wear that in real life?
Didn't you?
I imagine you could get somebody to make it for
Oh, no,
you.
you weren't allowed to last time. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't remember why. I got told I couldn't wear, like, I was shopping for a tuxedo.
But then the other, which, yeah.
Somebody told you no?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's outrageous.
I was supposed to be able to wear a tuxedo for my brother's wedding before I was the minister, right? So before I was Minister Belle, I was going to be, I was told I was going to be best man like my whole life. Then he apparently replaced me, which is cool because I like his best man. But then I just assumed naturally that I would be, on his side, standing like a proper dapper gentleman. So I'm excited because I get to wear a fucking tux. And then my brother asked me to be the minister, which is cool, but told me I couldn't because he said it's weird if I would wear a tux. Okay? So then I become Minister Belle. Then a day before the wedding, I find out that a female, and I'm not going to say any names here because, she is in the wedding party wearing a fucking tuxedo.
Wow.
Gasp.
Okay,
was
so
like-
the only way I can accept this is, was it a Dumb and Dumber tux?
No, it wasn't even. There was I couldn't even be, well, I mean, I did anyway, although I still haven't seen the video. Like, I tried to not be as, because we're not conventional, my family. So the fact that we even had this wedding and it's,
The formality of it.
it was so formal, and I'm super uncomfortable with those kinds of things. So it wasn't, and it's not my brother's vibe either. We're just not those kind of people where, we are the type that show up in Dumb and Dumber tuxedos. And we do the wedding ceremony slightly inappropriate. But
Just get it done in the front yard. Jesus.
yeah, I had to be on my best behavior. And then the sister, I guess she's my sister-in-law now, for fuck's sake. She says, well, you can't drink any of your own alcohol. You got to buy from the bar. Bitch, get the fuck out of here. My
But she
best
did
friend
into our
Rem,
supply.
my best friend Rem
Does
shows
she
up.
not know? Does she not know what the priest brings?
Well,
I mean,
I didn't this time. My best friend Rem shows up and he's got fucking Patron in a water bottle because that's how we do. And I might have taken a few shots before ceremony. And apparently Rem says it was more than a few shots, but
is about proportion. How big is your glass for the shot?
it wasn't a glass so much as it was a water bottle, and there was chugging involved because I was really I had to force myself to kind of
You had to de-stress. You had to decompress. You had to be ready for the
I had to
ceremony.
force myself to
You were-
be
I
sitting
mean-
on a throne of lies in front of God and country,
You sit upon a throne of lies.
saying things that I don't believe because I don't necessarily agree with the wedding. And it's no fault of anybody else's. I just love my brother and I have unrealistic expectations and it is what it is. So I had to in order for me to lie, I had to
Be a little drunk.
it was really great though.
Oh, yeah.
Well, us being married people, we can believe in the institution of marriage, and part of that is becoming.
It is an institution, a mental institution.
It is. You have to be, I mean, you have to be crazy to be married.
Wedding rings are a sign of oppression.
for men, I mean, you when men enter the dating scene, we find out very quickly that your girlfriend, no matter what your first girlfriend is, she's crazy. And so you obviously move on from that one.
Some of them are just good at hiding it, but every single one of you.
Yeah, no, but you go to the second girlfriend and you realize she's crazy. And then if you're a smart guy, you begin to realize they're all crazy.
It's more of a spectrum. Yeah.
Cheers,
and
buddy.
What happens is that you become a real man when you can stare crazy in the face and stay.
Oh shit.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah.
I'll
but you
agree
have
with
to also, and for women, men are dicks. You know?
Well, Dark is like a real man times 5.
No, it's just that matter of like we want, food, work, blowjobs.
Really though, and it's
that's all we care about.
sometimes in different orders, but yes.
Yeah, no, but that's like the basic. So women have to deal with that. We have to deal with crazy, and so we balance out rather well.
I feel like, I don't know. I'm pretty. All my husband's, most of his bad habits are pretty gone.
I feel like I need to be a bigger dick after this conversation.
Belle, it's not that they're gone. It's just that you've accepted them.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know. Like, these two guys have been to my house. They pretty much see what I accept and what I don't accept.
So our earlier conversation, or at least what I've overheard of leather and whips, might be.
Yeah, listen, my husband being a mouthy, he's quite a bit mouthy. He pushes me to the brink of insanity, and I ask things very nicely until I get fucking sick of being nice, and I just lose my shit randomly while walking down the stairs, and then he goes, "I don't understand why you're getting so mad. I told you I would do it." I don't know why I'm mad.
Every Sunday morning, it's why the fuck is this dirty? Deep clean.
I can't imagine why I'm mad. It escapes me why I'm mad, and I complained about the kitchen because, for fuck's sake, man, it's disgusting. Then all his various little kitchen gadgets that I buy him to make his cooking his own fucking food, personal stuff, all that easy, like for show night or when I'm really busy a certain day. Like, he's got a hot dog thing. He puts hot dogs in a bun and it pops up grilled and cooked. Like, he has all these things for the kitchen and he leaves them all over the fucking counter.
What are you, on a spaceship?
I just tried to make his life easier.
He just buys all the icing on.
What is this hot dog thing what?
He was, so really the story behind that is he was using all of my propane in the grill every day to make his fucking grilled hot dogs, and it was irritating me. So there's this like thing, it's basically like a hot dog toaster, and it toasts your bun and it cooks your hot dog, and it's actually pretty convenient. It all does it at the
toast
same
my
time.
dogs and my buns? Damn.
Yeah, your dogs and your buns even. So it's pretty, these are things that the wives buy the men for what we say is for them, but it's really for us.
Let's go to Circle K and just loot the little hot dog rotisserie machine. Like, that's all you need, right?
I feel like there's a lot of unhealthy...
Yeah, if you want to get, like, AIDS.
Yeah. I feel like that's probably a lot of how AIDS is transmitted, if I'm being honest, because...
It wasn't the monkeys, it was the hot dogs.
It looks really scary. Sorry, I have to make some adjustments because my back's already starting to sweat, so I have to, like, lean. Anyway.
What have you guys been up to?
Well, hold on. I got to finish this. I had to finish the weekly reset.
Don't interject her. Jesus Christ.
The final wing of LFR for Old Year opens up on Tuesday the 9th as well. So go in.
Gonna be a shit show.
Yeah, be an LFR hero, guys. Now's your time to just show people what you're really made of. Just do it.
Determination.
Your dreams come true.
Well,
just
adjust my fan.
Do it.
Guys, this whole not having the air conditioning thing on, I hope those of you that bitch about my audio are happy because I am already feeling sweat on my butt cheek. But that's okay because, moist. A couple quick hot fixes I wanted to mention. There have been several class adjustments over even just the last week. Another round came out. They adjusted. Demonology Warlocks gave them a little bit of buff. But more notably, the Prot Warriors got some changes. I don't know if those are good changes or bad changes. I didn't see anybody bitching on Twitter, which I suppose if there's no bitching that means it. I don't really know, but. you know.
It's just not there yet.
Yeah, class tuning
Or
is
you
happening.
missed it.
Well, I could have missed it, honestly.
Somebody's always bitching.
Also, various professions have received a mat cost reduction to craft things. So I think Blizzard's finally realizing some of that is a little bit ridiculous, especially given how hard to get some of that stuff is. Like,
Is that live or 8.1?
It was supposed to be hotfixed already, according to World of Warcraft site.
Nice.
Wait,
Yeah.
if only the video that told me these things.
But watch auction house prices stay exactly where they're at.
Yeah, you want to know why? Because people that do business in the auction house are fucking sadists. And we're going to talk about that later because I have an excellent Can You Not. But, like, yeah, they're sadists, these guys.
Well, there's many forms of player versus player in this game, and the
You're
auction
so
house is
right.
definitely one of them.
Yeah, it is. And my hat's off because they're often better because I don't have the time for that. But yeah, you right. It's interesting. Let's get some news items out of the way because, you know, news. If you don't already know, which I'm sure everybody does, and if you don't, I don't know if you're living on a mountain.
What's new in Newsland?
Well, it seems that all of our, like, OGs are finally, like, hanging up their hat. They're deciding to be done and move on, go golfing, maybe take a mistress. I don't really know what these guys do, you know, when they retire. But, you know, Mike Morhaime now joins them, which, guys, to be perfectly honest, I kind of saw that coming already. He's looked tired for a very long time. And
Well, he's old now.
but it's not even just about that. Like, we talked about it when Metzen stepped out. They become physically worn, and it's not even just like videos that they do, but like every BlizzCon, like you see these guys and they're visibly worn the fuck down, and you just know that it's, you know, it's time for them to go. They are fucking tired, and he's been doing this thing for so long that
27 years.
like he deserves to be at home sitting in his fucking underwear, scratching his balls, watching Twitch, like whatever it is he does. That's what he deserves. And I don't know that I didn't expect it, but J. Allen Breck is stepping in, or has already stepped in officially.
You think you don't, but you don't.
Well, I
No.
I suppose I kind of felt that was the direction they would go in because of all the people logically at the top of the food chain there. He would probably be, you know, the next one. And I think he shares a lot of Morhaime and Metzen's ideals. So I think he'll be able to carry the new generation of, you know, Blizzard folks into the same era that we've had. And it's scary when, you know, there's change because I don't want things to upset our balance. I don't want people to start getting like these weird ideas in their head of.
Well, I don't know. Based on the stats from the forums, because it's absolutely true, Blizzard and World of Warcraft are going under because Morhaime left.
Yeah, we're totally done for.
Sky's falling, guys.
You know.
The game's over.
Well, and I think what people don't understand as well is, while Morhaime is, you know, the boss of all things, the reality is this isn't make or break for Blizzard because Morhaime takes all the credit because that's what leaders do, right? He drives these teams and he says yes or no to the tough things when teams can't make a decision. But the whole of what Blizzard does, from World of Warcraft to Heroes of the Storm, this is these teams that drive these directions. It isn't Morhaime. It isn't that at all.
A group effort kind of thing.
Like, it's, and he sits back and lets his people do their job.
Well, that's like with Ian. He's just a focal point for all the hate, even though he has a final say now. But at the same time, like, it's everyone is on board. Well,
Ian's role, though, when it comes to those that are in charge of development for each game, the buck kind of stops with them because as a leader, it is your job.
Well, that's what I was saying. All the decisions are his, but the decisions come from somewhere.
Right.
Like
so,
all the-
and some are good and
I
some
think
are
the
bad.
thing
ideas.
is that he's not the brain behind the ideas.
Right.
He's kind of like that mental filter that I don't think any of us have.
Yeah, I don't have
Before
any
somebody
filters.
opens their mouths and says something, he's that mental filter that goes, maybe this is a bad idea to say.
Sometimes things slip out that, you know, you just whatever and it goes as right.
That's how you get put on the list, Murky.
Well, and I
Don't
want
even
to
follow.
share with you something further too. I think it's probably logical to assume that for quite a while now, JB's probably been making the bulk of the decisions unbeknownst to the public. He's probably been grooming him for quite some time. So there's probably a ton of things that we either like or dislike, you know, that we give Morheim credit for that probably wasn't him, because he's grooming him to make those decisions without it being so public.
That sounds so weird. He's grooming him.
Well, yeah, because that's what they do. You start, you know, when you know you're getting to that point where you're ready to go, you got to start looking out for, you know, who would be the next person.
I mean, you need your like your protege, yeah, kind of thing. But
oh god,
Uh-oh. This is gonna be bad on the show.
Wow, we're live, guys. We're live.
It's that Russian internet. We're
His
dead.
dang internet. Well,
the KGB got him.
there's no saving this now. Where I'm not even gonna change the screens around. I'm gonna leave this shit exactly where it is. You want to know why? Because that's how we do. And it's locked, so I have to unlock the room. Shit. Hold on, guys. This is what it means to do a live show.
Oh, I don't know, Joe.
Well, I've now unlocked it so he can join. Well, this is really awkward, guys, because they can't see Rem on the stream. So
I know. We get a half and half.
He's like in between. There you go.
I'm right here.
Okay, so I'm just going to keep it going
right
until
here.
he pops back in here. Maybe the kid, maybe, you know, they disconnected the internet.
I'm in
not
two
really sure.
places at once.
But yeah, so guys, it's
that fucking Windstalin. He probably did this.
he might have done it. Although I would imagine Windstalin would know that Belle would probably be pretty irritated, because my biggest pet peeve is when someone turns off their camera box.
Almost more than getting up in the middle of the show to go pee.
Yeah, I don't know which is worse at this point. Well, while we wait for him, I definitely don't want to extend things any longer while we wait. I'll give him about 5 or 6 minutes, and if not, I'll adjust the boxes, and we'll move on in a professional. This is really shitty, actually. Can I might need to, hold on, I'm gonna adjust it. I'm gonna try to make it
then.
where, oh shit, oh, everything's bad. It's all bad. Oh.
No.
Rem, you're just gonna have to move over, okay? Because I can't keep messing with these boxes. There we go.
So now we're gonna have an ASMR.
Now we're gonna have a quality production.
How are you guys doing today?
Hey Rem, maybe you could DM
Your
Vincent
mom?
and make sure. My mom doesn't know how to Twitter. Okay, while we're moving on to this, the Arena World Championships finale does begin on Friday, which is tomorrow, in case you weren't aware. Yeah, go and do stuff, because it doesn't really matter what occurs at this championships. We already had the 12 going to BlizzCon, which we'll talk about that later. So this is basically just for $10,000, essentially, which
It's still pretty badass, so.
I mean, I'll take it, right? Like, I owe the government a lot of money, so that would really help my debts. Do you guys want to get a threes team together? Just kidding. There's no girls in
Murky
PvP
and I
at the
could do it. I
top.
don't know if you're qualified. Sorry.
Oh.
You would have to be Affliction, and you're not about that life. So
Would you try Affliction?
no, she wouldn't.
You're right. That was stupid to ask. I'm dead.
I changed her to Affliction for a second when she was away from the computer, and she almost died. True story. I was over at the house.
And I got the fucking Affliction, the weapon from Legion, just because I wanted to get all three on Bell. And I thought, well, this is great, because after Legion's over, I can delete this weapon. It just sits in my bank as a reminder.
For a time you once had.
Well, and I didn't have to be Affliction to do it, so that made it a lot easier, because I wouldn't have done it if I had to. Also, the ticket holders, both live and virtual tickets, you get access to the BlizzCon loot, which we have a little preview in a second. You get access to that on October 11th. So you have a whole week before they open it up for everyone else, which they'll open it up for everyone else on the 18th. So go get
those hoodies.
Oh, the gear store loot. Gotcha.
yeah, go get that stuff instead of wasting your life away in line. But so I have this image here where so here's the ones that I pulled that were World of Warcraft, just because this is a World of Warcraft podcast, so it wouldn't make sense if I put other stuff on there. But I am kind of digging these little character deals, but I really want that hoodie.
No, I like the hoodie.
Yeah, like I really gotta have.
Depending on the fabric on the inside, because the shoulders seem a little bit much.
Well, but don't you want shoulders?
No.
No.
Shoulders off for Starfang.
Okay, and I want to share with you guys because I don't understand. Can somebody please explain to me what the fuck this is? Because I don't know what it is.
I
don't know yet, Belle.
Here. One moment, please.
Like, I'm physically struggling.
It's he's an advertisement in Overwatch for like.
He's a fucking wiener holding a dildo. Is that not what he is? He's a wiener holding a dildo.
That looks like a bamboo or.
And why is his tongue sticking out? And why is it positioned around his pelvis? What is happening? Guys, this is...
Now it's my turn to be like, whoa, where did I walk into?
Yeah, so if you turn your attention to the stream and see this wiener plushie that Blizzard's trying to peddle to people that I'm sure Murky already has in his shopping cart, like...
I do.
Who did this?
I don't know, but now it's even funnier. I want it.
And that's not a radish. Radishes are round, are they not? Or do I have my vegetables confused?
I don't know. It's like
it depends. The radish is kind of like an onion, and it has that long green stalk on the top.
Yeah.
That's a dildo. Like
it's got white balls and everything.
Well, anything is a dildo if you're brave enough.
I'm just like, yeah, you're right. I almost said his real name.
What did I get myself into when I agreed to come on the show tonight?
I just needed to figure that out. Hey, we waited for you. I didn't even adjust the boxes, and I didn't even freak out.
For some reason, my computer just completely froze, so I'm back on. I've made sure everything is closed that can be closed.
Did Winstall sabotage your shit? Because
he probably did, the freaking punk. Mm-hmm. I'll need to check to make sure he's still in the closet, so...
Good. All right.
That's where I keep all my unruly people too. Just kidding. We don't do that anymore.
I was to say
This isn't 2004, okay? It's not acceptable social behavior. We can't do those things anymore.
Real talk, you have a big closet though, so you can put a lot of people in there.
Yeah, I that whole plushie thing, I saw that and was like, what the actual fuck is this?
Yeah, if they're not going to give us, that's a good point. If they're not going to give us a Murloc in-game, give us another Murloc plush or something.
I agree.
Right, we're out of colors. Like,
I do agree. I think it is
a unique one.
Well, I think there's so many different directions they could go with for Murlocs that I feel like they lose an opportunity there to not.
I have a whole army of Murlocs and plushie costumes that people have.
Your new Murloc is being worked on as we speak.
Ooh,
a new Murloc. Oh,
yeah, Taylor got his pencil and finally he had to replace his pencil and stuff. So I don't know how long it's going to take him because I love Taylor, but he's got real life and a wife now and chores and like trash duty and other stuff. But he is working on it, which is the important matter. So let's talk about this hot fix that wasn't really posted anywhere. I don't think. I think it was just like a secret hot fix that they pushed. ?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so for the Mythic 10 plus and up, or Mythic plus 10 and up, previously for like 11 through 16, you weren't getting any additional rewards, and it was, what's your word, Rem? Lackluster. There wasn't a whole lot to be gained from doing an 11 through 16. You just kind of had to chuckle along and get your key up to where you needed it to be so you can actually start getting something that was worth it. Well, they've made adjustments to that as well as a couple other interesting things. So each keystone above a plus 10 will have an additive plus 40% chance for an additional piece of loot to drop, which 40% is pretty great, honestly, when you think about it. Like that's, well, with with my odds, it would be like negative 40% because that's just, I don't seem to fall in that bad luck protection.
You have to give them something instead.
Right, and I have to stop making fun of them on the show. That's how you don't get stuff. But, so at Keystone plus 13, you'll get an additional guaranteed piece with a 20% chance of another item. And at Keystone plus 15, you get an additional 2 pieces. So at least you're being rewarded for doing the higher content. Now, why
couldn't they do it like at 7?
Because I feel like
7.
Because 1 through 10 is still the item level gain on the item.
Right.
Like 10 up is the actual work.
Right.
Your gain.
Love you.
But to me, this would make me want to do higher
Oh yeah.
keystones.
No,
Like,
put that gear on the end of the stick. We'll chase it.
But Belle,
Yeah.
can you take me higher?
oh man, that was just. You should be embarrassed about that. Just embarrassed. Oh, guys, I forgot to tell you. Oh, okay. Remind me after this keystone thing. I forgot to tell you. We know who the closing band is for BlizzCon.
What?
What?
Yeah, I heard about
haven't
it too
heard
from
this.
Mikey.
Yeah, we know who the closing band is, and I have a preview. So, but I forgot. I completely forgot. But let's finish this real quick, and then we'll get back to that. So, where was I?
Taking me higher.
Yes.
Keystone runs.
Right.
Keystones. Gear.
With
Okay,
arms wide
so
open.
this does
so-
stack with the additional loot you get for completing the dungeon within the time limit. So this is in addition to that. Like, that seems like a whole lot of loot, and it seems like it's fake to me. Can anybody confirm that they've...
No, I've heard whisperings of this. I've been really out of like the end game because I'm doing some crazy stuff on my personal time. But
Oh,
Murky
Yeah.
does too.
copy on the leather and the whips.
no, no.
We're about
leather,
that
no
self-starting here. one
Lots
sec.
of lots of
Lot of
caffeine and personal goals to achieve.
If you're that tired, you should just stop.
I should, but I just can't.
Chafing.
You're gonna go blind.
Whoa, is that really a thing, though?
No.
Well, only if you're looking at it.
That's the same for women, guys. It's exactly the same.
Glasses are just a coincidence, guys.
If you're looking too closely,
Maura,
then
it's not very nice to ruin my surprise.
What?
Kind of a dick. He totally ruined my
me put
surprise
it in
instead of
Twitch
just
chat.
letting me have my fun. Okay. Now, getting new keystones. I read this 3 or 4 times because I wasn't sure if this was real. Like, I didn't understand, like, if this was true. So, Wowhead had used a little example that I also pulled, but seems like there's now a pretty legit way to essentially attempt to re-roll your keystone for something better, a different dungeon, additional, you might even get a higher level, I guess, depending on the circumstances when you do this thing I'm going to tell you that you can do. So according to Wowhead, if you have, say, like, if you've got a 9 key and you don't want it, maybe you don't want the dungeon or maybe you want to try to get a higher one. If you run a plus 11, delete your keystone mid-run and you'll be awarded with like a 10 plus.
Wait, so on someone else's key, you can delete yours? And
Yeah,
then...
so deleting your keystone will award you a new keystone at the end of the next Mythic 0 or higher.
Well, that makes sense because you get, when you don't have something in your bags for a keystone, you get
Right.
awarded something from the chest. So yeah.
The dungeon will
this sounds
randomly
like a
be
bug.
the dungeon will randomly be assigned, as well as the level. So deleting it at the proper plus level,
yeah,
if
I
you're,
don't think that's intended though.
Yeah, that can't be intended. That's a bug.
I don't know.
That's not really exploiting, but because if you delete the keystone and you don't have a keystone going into the dungeon, maybe you get rewarded something else. But
That's what
Blizzard,
don't think
like,
that's-
it was a hot fix, so I don't know.
you and I both know how well Blizzard is at telling us things lately, so
Right.
Fine, and we also know how abusatory the player base is towards in-game mechanics.
Well, when you think about it, though, if I'm Blizzard, I just went through 8.1's bullshit on Wowhead because of their data mining, right? And we're going to talk about one of those items. The rest of it we'll talk about next week when I'm in a little bit better mood. But it seems that a lot of 8.1 is Blizzard pandering to all these fucking crybabies on the internet, right? So it would be logical to assume that this could be another way for them to continue to pander to make people that are running these Mythic Pluses happy because, I don't know. But this was a hot fix that
We
went
may
in.
end up talking about some of that anyway because we're going to be talking about PvP.
Yeah.
So
But
Wait, we are?
I hope so. That's the whole reason I'm here. Think I'd get out of bed to come here for raiding?
Yeah. But basically, like, take advantage of it right now anyway. And if it does happen to be like a mistake that they didn't intend with the hotfix, then, you know, at least you could take advantage of it. But I don't know. It seems to me like it could be logical that Blizzard would allow that because it's kind of like rolling the dice. It could stay the same. It could get better. And you might get a shit dungeon that you don't want.
Well, yeah, like everybody in our group this week, I got Toll Gador, and
it was Toll or Siege.
Yeah.
I was like,
test it out, get some data, do some things, you know, all those things. And to that end, so I'm in the potty earlier, and when I say earlier, this was at like noon, and I'm reading through some of the 8.1 stuff because I think, well, you know, let me check out what's going on. Rem mentioned that there's spoilers, so I'm trying to avoid all the
avoid anything.
Text and so I'm just trying to click around and see what's what and what I've missed because it's been a really busy week. If you guys can't see, this whole side of my office is stacked to the ceiling with boxes that I need to send out.
Really doesn't look that stacked right there.
Yeah, there's boxes upon boxes, and I still have some stuff to send
Maybe
out.
you can soundproof more with the boxes then.
You would think that would be the idea, right? But then I wouldn't feel the air if I did all that because I would just be blocking it. So just...
I mean, you don't feel air when you're in hell, so...
It's
Build
true.
a fort before you ship them off.
Yeah, it's true.
Wait, what?
But, so, I read this very long post about changes to Azerite armor coming, right? Guys.
What part did we read?
Oh, I read all of it. Because I wanted to make sure that I knew what the fuck I was talking about when I felt the way that I felt. I wanted to make sure that I was justifiably raging on the toilet, not even joking you. I was so mad when I read this that I dropped the fucking toilet paper on the ground. It rolled, my cat grabbed it, and I had to grab another fresh roll out of the package because, you know, I wouldn't do toilet paper that's been on the ground and my cat. But, like, that's how mad I was. Like, because, you know, my husband never puts the toilet paper roll back on the roll. Because why would we do that? It doesn't make sense to do that. We just stick it on top of there. So, you know, and the
next dunce can put it on there.
Yeah, my bathroom, like, the bathroom itself is not as big, you know, whatever.
So we can safely assume that once toilet paper has been involved with the pussy, that it's done for.
Yeah, it's done for life. Like, you have to get a new roll because it gets destroyed, and there was probably a pun in there intended. I'm very proud of you for that, actually. I'm very proud of you for that. That was a good one.
Those cats, man, I tell you. You know.
So, a lot of things about this Azerite situation I liked and agreed with. Until I got to the part where they talked about having Azerite gear that you get from Emissary scale up to 370. So I was sitting there, right? And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? What do you mean?
Really quick, so I jumped on the PTR to see the changes, and the caches, or the caches, whatever you want to call them, they dropped 355 plus, so they have a chance to proc the 370 if they Titan Forge.
Yeah, they scale up to 370 according to your item level. So when your item level is 360, you're going to get 365.
If your item level is at that point, then why shouldn't it?
Well, here's the thing about that. The Titan Forging, the Mythic Titan Forging, the Heroic Titan Forging, and all that was supposed to be random and rare. I've seen you get something Titan Forged 3 times in a run doing world quests. So, unless they're scaling back the rarity. But let me tell you my problem with that. So, they said, well, we want people to be able to get powerful Azerite gear, even if you don't raid, or even if you don't PvP, or even if you don't Mythic Plus. If you don't do any of those things, why the fuck do you need that gear then? Why do you need that gear?
The item level, Belle?
What the fuck do you need it for? If you're not doing any of those things that was mentioned in this post, why do you need that gear? What do you care if your gear is 370 fucking item level if you're not doing any of those things?
I feel like we're having deja vu about Sanguicell and the crafted that's 385 and shit.
So I understand people that don't want to raid, right? Guys, this isn't a complaint if you don't want to raid. I don't like raiding. I understand people who don't want to PvP. Again, not a complaint. I understand people that don't want a Mythic Plus because sometimes I just don't. if you are not doing any of the things I mentioned above, what the fuck do you care about what item level your gear is? And why are you crying that because you don't like to do the above, you should be able to get this gear wherever you want to get it out in the world?
Because hand-me-downs.
I think a large part of it is the fact that the average player base just can't get the gear. Period. You know, in order to get mythic level gear, you have to be a mythic level raider.
Imagine a world where in order to get that stuff, you have to fucking work for it. I'm sorry.
But those in this... Go on.
You know what it is?
I thought this was a safe zone, guys.
You know what it is? It's all the fucking kids in high school who got participation trophies that are on the forums crying about this shit.
I won't dispute that at all, because
it's actually the old people, so it's kind of awkward.
I mean, to play into a classic trope, you know, back in vanilla, you know, there was a time where you really had to like work for something, and it took a lot of time to build up and accumulate the things that you needed in order to play the game. And when you did it, you felt incredibly rewarded. And it was, I mean, gosh, 15 years ago?
Isn't that the Void Expulsiveness feeling right now? Because that shit.
But, you know, the player base has changed a lot. People don't have the time to input into the game.
Guess what?
So they're pandering.
I don't have the time to input in game.
But
these two talk shit to me every fucking raid because there's still pieces that I could have replaced already but haven't because I don't have time to play the game. Guess what? I shouldn't be able to go do 4 world quests and an emissary and get a fucking high item level piece of gear. I shouldn't be able to do that. Not equivalent to rating. That's what I mean. Not equivalent to rating.
I will say that I'm kind of on board with you. It should get you into rating. Like what you do in the outside world should get you into rating, or it should be able to get you into the Mythic Plus, or it should be able to get you into PvP. But should you be able to compete with the high end?
Right, correct.
You're not going to be competing with the high end because by the time that you get to that point, you're already going to be doing all the content.
Here's the thing. World Quest gear should get you into Heroics. That's where the fuck it should get you. Heroics should get you into Mythic. Mythic should get you into higher keystones. Same with rating. Same exact concept. You don't go get fully geared with World Quest gear and then jump into a fucking heroic raid. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. And I don't care about a fucking alt catch-up mechanic.
I would say the problem is that we've inputted into the minds of the player base that item level actually means something, when in reality it doesn't mean anything.
You're right.
I mean, these Mythic Raiders, they're taking down these bosses at 350, 360. You know?
Yeah,
the Mythic
you're right.
Raiders, they're 350, 360, and they're killing mythic bosses because they understand mechanics, they understand their class, they understand their spec. Item level is a complete farce.
It feels a lot like Legendary's last expansion. It feels like, hey, we're going to give you these things that are going to be more on the rare side. Just kidding. We're going to make it where everybody gets them. And
really, because I still have never got
some people get 8 or 9. Like,
well, and the problem that came with the Legendary system is that it literally became, if you didn't have the Legendary item, you could not compete with those who did.
Yeah.
You know, in this case, though, if you don't have a piece of Azurite gear, I mean, the traits really aren't spectacular. If you understand your class and you can play your spec, oh yeah, I get an extra 1k DPS because of this Azurite trait. You know? Especially now that they've gone through and done all their tweaking. I mean, gosh, the problem that I had with Azurite gear was because of the stacking and the broken traits.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and they're addressing, like I said, there was a lot of things in this, you know, things that they're doing that I appreciate and that I think, you know, I think they were going forward. But I got to be really honest with you. I don't know how many are left listening or watching that have watched since the very beginning. But when we transitioned from Mists of Pandaria into Draenor, and halfway through Draenor, Frieza, and I'm going to find that episode, Frieza had said he has a vision of the future and his fear for the future. And Frieza had, part of this fear was when we were, I think we might have been, this might have been like whispers of something that was coming maybe in Legion. I don't remember the timeline, but he had said that his fear was that we turned this game into, you're able to just do anything and everything at any given moment without any work, without having to put much effort, and you can go and do all these things because we have to make the masses happy. We can no longer make it an individual player experience for you to have to work hard if you want to do higher level content, or, you know, for you to have to actually do something in order to gain access to another thing, i.e. you have to get your item level up, you know, to go into heroic dungeons when you first max out, right? So the argument here, like Candace, it's a good point. Alt friendly, alt catch-up mechanic, those kinds of things, that is a great point. Except fuck your alts. Fuck your catch-up mechanics. Fuck your bullshit on the forums with your pandering to these fucking crybabies. Because I'm telling you, I heard Friza's voice in my head where he said those words, and he said, I'm telling you, this is my greatest fear and this is what I see in the future. Because they don't know how to fix things. We don't fix them. We Band-Aid them to make everybody happy. That's what we're doing right now with 8.1. We're throwing this stuff out there and we're Band-Aiding it, right? We want to quickly de-escalate the fact that one of their CMs had an issue on the forums and escalated things. And how do you get rid of bad PR and bad press, right? Because everybody's talking about you as you throw shit out there that makes everybody happy. Couldn't you have just thrown a fucking Murloc pet out there for BlizzCon? Like, there was other ways to deflect here.
with all that, though, I mean, it's one of those things where, you know, I like right now I am maxing every single healer in the game because I'm trying to put together which healer I want to play, which class is going to be the best for me,
right? And
I'm going to appreciate these catch-up mechanics because I am so far behind the ball. I have not completed the storyline in Tirisfal proper to get to the last mythic dungeon. You know, I have a 120 shaman already. I've got all of my healers are 112. My disc priest is 116. My druid is 113. And I'm just pushing all those guys up to 120.
So you're, instead of focusing on your main like it's intended, you're just swapping around so that you could find a healer, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to find my main is my thing right now.
Okay, so with that thought in mind, makes perfect sense. Makes absolute perfect sense. You should be able to go through the content and...
I should be, but here's the thing. So, okay, I get my character to cap. Okay, cool. I still need to progress that character.
Right.
And I, you know, having played in vanilla, I still want to feel like I'm progressing as a character, and I don't want to feel like it's handed to me.
Is your auto adjust on? Because you're going up and down, and I know I'm not high.
Sorry, no, I had something in my throat.
No, but, it's your mic. You're low and then high.
If I do that,
I mean, you're hot, then you're cold.
But it sounds like your auto adjust was on, but maybe not.
You're in, then you're...
I don't think I have auto adjust.
It'd be in the options in Zoom.
Okay.
So the little carrot, sorry guys, I have to make sure that you guys can hear his good word. The little carrot next to the mute button, then hit audio settings. And then test computer audio. And then in that window, you'll see an auto adjust. Just uncheck it.
Okay, audio.
It'll say like audio test and then...
Oh, it does have that. There we go.
Guys, I'm like the Johnny Mnemonic of...
Okay, so like I was saying, I still want to feel like I'm progressing with a character. You know, I want that once I'm 120 and I have an idea of how a character plays and how they feel in PvP, because that's what I'm going for. I'm trying to pick a healer for PvP, and I'm right now settling between Disciplined Priest and Mistweaver Monk, are my last two for the competition in my mind. And once I'm locked into my main, then I want to be able to progress. Now, I want to be able to progress at a good clip and feel like I'm making progress, but I definitely don't want to feel like it's being handed to me. You know what I mean? Which is why I really enjoy PvP, because you have to earn your rating unless you're being a sleazebag.
Right. Well, though we've made, you know, prestige account wide, but those don't matter to anybody except people that, real PvPers don't give two fucks about prestige.
Yeah. But emissary gear right off the bat isn't going to be 370 like my 348 DK alt is.
No, and that's where if they get the progression right, it should feel okay, because in order to, I mean, we're talking about, I think the way to fix it would be emissary only gives Azurite gear.
I think then if they're going to continue to do that they need to stop Titan and Mythic Forging every other piece you get.
And that would be fair if they did that with just the emissary. You can't Titan or Mythic Forge with emissary.
I don't think somebody doing world quests or maybe even LFR, okay, let's say somebody's they're in LFR, so maybe they've done a Mythic Plus or 2 and they got lucky with a piece out of their chest, so it bumps their item level enough to where these world quests then give them, you know, the gear that they're trying to get. My question is, what is the threshold here? Because I can fake being a fucking pro just like everybody else does, but I don't think that you should be giving people raid level gear. It doesn't matter what the item level is. I think out of world content, you should not be able to get the same thing that raiders have to work hard for. Just like PvEers shouldn't be able to just get gear handed to them that's on a high level for PvP because they should have to work for that. That is my take on the situation. Alt catch-up mechanics and fuck what you're going through. I don't give a shit.
So if there was a world-based Azerite set that didn't give the benefits of the raid sets but just bumped up an item level and stats, would that feel better to you?
I think it would feel like they would need to do content to get the better.
Fucking say it.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I don't know why you're raising your hand. This ain't class.
You gotta wonder what his other hand is doing.
I know, right? Hand check.
Oh, I should do that. Sorry, apologize. Anyway, so I've raided 5 normal raid weeks and 3 heroic raid weeks, and I was still wearing the same 340 shoulders like I had a Siege Borealis.
Are you going to cry about it right now so that this helps you?
No. So I think this is like it's beneficial because I am wearing other heroic raid gear. I am at that item level.
But you're the one in the many, my dude.
There's other people.
And this is where I think if they do it right, because he is in that position where he is heroic raiding.
That's the life of raiding, guys. It's RNG.
I know, but Belle, there's so many walls into gear progression. You can only get one set of mythic per mythic dungeon. You know, then you have to go to the next level of mythic dungeon for that dungeon. Mm-hmm. You know, there's a lot of roadblocks. You only get your weekly chest once a week. You only get your PvP chest once a week. It's not like back in the old day where you could just reset the instance and, you know, the raid locks that are in, you know, they halt you in your progression. And that doesn't feel good because when you're halted in your progression, what's the point in playing?
Well, that's why they would be forced to have a 10-man group, a 20-man or 25-man group back in like Wrath and stuff.
Well,
yeah, it's because you're trying to progress and you have 24 hours a day to progress.
Riddle me this, Batman.
The game is locking you in progression. So for his case, where he is heroic rating, he's got this one piece of gear that he just can't quite get the drop. It's allowing him to play the game with an opportunity of progression through emissary quests.
But we have no means of separating those two planes of existence is my problem. It isn't my problem that Murky needs a non-340 piece because I still have a 320 piece. So it isn't that I think that this is terrible for people that work hard and who just have bad luck in, you know, heroic, he's heroic rating and normal rating. Like, it isn't a question of that. It's a question of because we fix one, it automatically affects the other. That is my problem. My problem is because we don't have the ability to be able to separate the two planes of existence, we meld them all together. So like you were saying, okay, if you're telling me that the gear that they're getting, you know, if they've been lucky on some pieces, so they happen to fall into that little window where they get maybe a 365 or a 370 piece or whatever. If you're telling me that it doesn't have what you get from raid, great.
Just eye level stats, no abilities.
Great.
Cool.
It's not going to be equivalent to rating. It's going to be equivalent to the previous rating. It's a catch-up mechanic in terms of keeping world quests and emissaries relevant. If they don't make it relevant, there's no point in doing them. No one does them.
Why do I have to do them even halfway through the expansion? I agree. I agree.
This is why I PvP.
Like, for instance, our normal raid... We're not getting anything from world quests or emissaries that are equivalent to maybe the off chance that something procs.
That's
Other
great,
than that,
because I don't want to fucking do world quests. That's
so
why.
Then what the fuck are you complaining about?
I don't want to fucking do world quests.
Obviously, this content is not for you, Belle.
But what I'm saying is, like, so I have a purpose when I do my world quests, right? It's my reputation. Then when your reputation is done, war resources or whatever that whatever
Azerite
they're giving
power,
us. Yeah.
AP.
So. But if I don't want to do a world quest that day because I just don't fucking want to, but I have to because they put a thing in there where they basically
No, you're saying you're forced to. You don't have to.
Well, are they not though?
No, I see a lot of requests that could benefit me. I'm like, I'm not in the mood right now.
That's weird. You and Murky are on that team, do all the things. So
I think
feel like
the
you
problem
did.
is that Belle is a perfectionist, and if she doesn't have that completion bar capped,
Then why isn't her DPS perfect?
Because I have fucking kids and a life, Rem. That's why.
notice I said completion bar, not DPS bar. You know,
But like,
experience capped, reputation capped. You know, but it's one of those things where I see why the content is there, and it's going to benefit me in a bit. I definitely agree with you, Belle, though, that like you should never be able to get gear higher than what you're equipped.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but with Titan forging and all, like, example.
No, and I agree with you.
I got a 375 because of Titan forged. Can I tell you guys that I do not deserve that 375? And I'm going to tell you why I don't deserve that 375. I raid like I'm supposed to. That's it. Occasionally a Mythic Plus if I have the mental fucking bandwidth to handle sitting for 20 minutes without scrolling, right? I didn't deserve that 375. Honestly.
I would disagree with you in the fact that you were playing the game, and just like out in life, you find $20 on the ground somewhere.
I like the McForging theory.
No.
I like the McForging theory, yeah.
My item level's 340.
I prefer that theory.
My item level's 340. I didn't deserve that 375. Not compared to the other guys I was with, Murky and Rem, who are running high-level shit all day long, and they gave me, somebody who's been increasingly casual because BlizzCon's coming up and I'm busy, I got a 375 that I didn't deserve. I didn't deserve it.
What content were you doing? What content were you? Were you in raid? Were you in a mythic dungeon?
No,
we were in a heroic.
We were in a fucking heroic dungeon doing some shit for a world quest.
It was a 365, approximate 340.
I would kind of agree with that. I would kind of agree with that. That if you had been in a normal raid, cool. Congratulations. You're that lucky person. But I definitely agree with you that in a heroic dungeon setting, getting a 375 is, I mean, that's just
even
weird.
If it's a 365, I shouldn't have gotten that. Any kind of upgrade outside of what that dungeon gives me, I didn't deserve that. But it was given to me.
Do people deserve to win the lottery?
No, I do.
But this isn't supposed to be a lottery. This is
the people who play do, and
this
you
is supposed to be you get what you put into it. That is my whole overall point here that you just helped me make. This game has always been about you gain what you put in. Your level of effort, your level of playing the game, whether it was super casual, not knocking the people that don't have time, guys, I'm one of them. But you should be able to yield back what you put into it. Murky's experience, he has a 340 and he does more shit in game than I've seen anybody else do. He runs several different raids and plus keys all day long. I should not have gotten some fucking Titan Forge, Mythic, whatever, Platinum
Well, I'm not going to lie. We were a little bitter that you got the trinket. But at the same time, when I get something that's Titan Forge, Warforge, I get excited because it's like
earned
a bonus.
It. You earned it. I didn't. They gave me shit and continue to give me shit I don't earn.
That doesn't affect me if you get it, though.
I like
because
what
I'm
Win
your
said.
friend.
You played the lottery that day and you won it. Like, just accept it and carry it. You just don't like Titan Forging and War Forging. Most of the community doesn't, but we're stuck with it here.
I just think it's unfair, and that's
what you don't like. You don't like the Azerite catch it mechanic and the slow upgrade.
I don't like
if they capped it out at like 10 item levels.
I don't like it because it
tells,
it tells the large part of the community that it doesn't matter how hard you work. Somebody else who doesn't work hard as all is going to come in and get exactly what it is you need or wanted in an upgrade. That's what it tells people. And that's what it tells me.
It's a gamble.
It is a gamble. I would say, though, Belle, that there are those people, especially with the bias towards item level that is in the game right now, that a mythic player... Mythic Raider, going in at 350, 360 eye level would get passed up for Mythic 10s because
they don't have a good Raider IO score?
Yeah, no Raider IO score, or, we're only taking 370s right now.
The new way to reject people through the Raider IO?
By the way, Belle, I'm doing away with my Raider IO, and I'm going to make people check out my TRP3 profile.
What's an ERP?
It's a role-playing add-on.
Hey, you were actually right with that acronym, though. So
Is it bedtime?
But don't check out my Radio IO, guys. Look
It
at my
isn't about it
therapy
being
thing
at the
profile.
expense of someone else. It's about the story that we're telling to players. That's what it's about. It's about the overall story that we're telling. That you don't have to work super hard, because if you don't work super hard, you're going to get rewarded in some form or the other. And if you do work super hard, you are going to watch somebody else in that fucking dungeon run that you're doing get what you have been working hard to get. I mean,
it's going to hurt for like a second, and then you're just going to pass.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only going to invite people based on what's in their Netflix.
That's why this doesn't affect you, Rem, because you don't feel the way that I do, and that's okay that we don't agree on that. And it doesn't matter whether you feel that way or not. The fact is, it is what it is, and I'm not the only one that feels that way either. But here's the thing.
Community is,
so without giving what I was bitching about, I also wanted to
what were you bitching about?
Do you want me to go into it again? But
why, yes, Val. Tell me more.
It already took up an hour. Let's calm down.
Tell me more.
To be fair, I put in the notes, hold on to your balls and fucking boobs, because I got shit to say. Now, to that end, they talked about the possibilities for an upgrade being more on the rare side, right? We found through leveling that actually is not the case, and that I've seen more Titan Forge and Mythic Forge and Platinum Forge and Diamond Forge and all that other shit happen more than I probably did pre-expansion, right? Well, so then they talked about, well, if you do higher level content, your luck will increase, right? The higher level stuff will give you more Mythic, more Titan Forge, like those kinds of things, right? That was great. I was like, awesome. Like, people that are working really hard, they're going to get rewarded because they're going to have better chances to do so.
Okay, what if they remove the item? What if they remove the item level for Warforged and you just added the territory stats, where it's like the avoidance or the movement speed?
That would be fucking fantastic. If you took item level out of the equation based off the benefit that you get, what if it was trait based? What if there was things that were added to it that were a plus for whatever the wearer was?
I think we need to take into the fact that players break the game. Because item level was not a Blizzard creation. It was a player creation.
Yeah, it's way back at Gear Score during Wrath. I mean, it's always been a thing.
We broke the game when it came to item level.
Oh yeah, no.
So it's not. I don't blame Blizzard for the item level catastrophe. I blame players.
I do like what Rem's saying, though. What if we did, what if the upgrade that you got wasn't an item level upgrade? What if it was...
Well, like, so for instance, I missed when items were like, hey, this one has a socket or two. Like, that's what I want to aim for. Mm-hmm. As opposed to, now did I get a socket on it? Or, the problem... I have a socket plus a 5 item level increase plus avoidance. It just gets confusing sometimes, so...
The problem is that a player will come along and create a gear score for it.
Oh yeah, no.
And that's where we're stuck. Is we broke the game, and now Blizzard is trying to fix something we broke, which is kind of a common.
It's just ironic when everyone complains about time gating when we gate ourselves in our own community.
I don't complain about. I don't know why everybody complains about time gating. I like that
Blizzard
I'm not talking
about
me.
Us. I'm talking about the
community,
local minority. I call them just because a lot of people don't mind it, but. We gate ourselves. We you need to have a gear score of 237 or whatever.
We put a number on a face in Raider.io and tell you where you stand statistically.
And Raider.io is a perfect example of how we, as player communities, we break the game.
Where I would love to set everyone at Raider.io on fucking fire because we found another means of rejecting people. I'm so happy.
Someone had a good comparison at Raider.io. Technically, if you use it or not, is a lot like an MMR. It shows you where you stand at that content of doing mythics.
But so does your achievements. Your achievements show where you're at.
Not really. You can get carried and
Rem is super in love with Raider.io, and so is Murky. You're not going to win an argument here with these two fucks because they are obsessed with Raider.io.
I'm sorry. I come from the PvP world.
Yeah, they're obsessed. Like everything I've heard for the last 2 weeks about their gameplay has been the words Raider and IO in there at least every other sentence.
It's so that I can push keys and randoms. It's the only reason.
Okay, but here's the problem is that I come from a world where people pay money for climbing. You know?
Yeah, people pay money in
Real
PvE
dollars.
just as long.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and people are paying money to get their Raider IO scores up. So it's a crap system.
Can you do that?
No matter what system it is, it's going to be crap. There's always going to be a flaw in it. But
exactly, and it's our job on this show to pull those flaws apart and show them to the masses.
So Rem, you're telling me that achievements are a crappy comparison to Raider IO when it's the same damn thing.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying.
People are going to buy.
It's harder to track because with Raider IO you have scores per thing, per time, etc.
Okay,
so if
I'm a crap player and I got 4 friends who are awesome, my Raider I score is going to be great.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what happens?
Yeah, that's why I'm allowed to do mythics, because
if your group is really bad and you guys didn't finish a key and a timer and the tank kept dying and your healer was shit, does that affect your score?
Yeah.
Yes and no. You still get a score, but it's a lot less.
Yeah.
So this establishes more exclusivity with who you run and who you don't run with, because you don't want to run with somebody like my husband who weeds out all the people in his Overwatch shit during competitive because he doesn't want a shit score when it's placement. Is that what it's called? I don't know what it's called.
See, but not completing a key within a timer doesn't hurt your score. It only adds up. So like if my score is like at the moment like 500 something, and I do a key with some guildies at like a 3, but we don't complete it, I still get like plus 10 or plus 20 on the score.
So if I, complete a mythic 10, I still get the achievement.
So it's not like doing arenas with friends before where you had a team, and if, let's say someone comes in and they don't do a certain interrupt and you guys lose the match now, you lose, like you go like drop from like 1600 to 1500 or something. I mean, it's not like that where you.
So you're telling me that it's even worse because you can increase your score. There's no going backwards. There's no way to tell that this person is actually a crap player because their score can only increase.
So
no, if you hit a certain point though, then it's you kind of have to be able to play the game.
I mean, I could pay Murphy to get on my account.
I'm sorry, Rem. Your Raider IO score has just been completely annihilated because at least in PvP. A bad player who brings down his team will bring down his rating, so I can see, oh, you're a 1200 rated player.
Mm-hmm. But it shows all the okay, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, but if you can only increase your score, then how do I know how good of a Raider IO you are?
So it doesn't really go down?
It doesn't. It's completely based on the people you play with. At least in PvP, if I jump in and play with another people, I still bring in my rating. My personal rating, and my personal rating is affected by what happens in the group. Not, oh, I played with a bunch of bad people, my score's untouched. Or I'm a crappy player, but I play with a bunch of great people, so I have a high score.
I mean, it's a little bit different because that's a competitive arena thing.
Mythic, have you seen DPS trying to compete for those Mythic Plus?
That's what I'm saying. At that point,
it's incredibly competitive.
It's irrelevant to me when all the people that are up there. But for PUBG,
it's just a broken system.
It's a broken system.
I'm acknowledging the fact that it's broken. I'm just saying,
but we don't.
It's a good system to find out because I mean, people could be 370 and the guy didn't even know what dungeon we were in. So it's like I don't know what do you want me to do?
He was probably thinking like me, like right now. This whole time you guys were talking, I'm thinking, well, I could just pay Murky to get on my account and fucking bang me out an awesome Raider IO score, so I could be one of the big dogs too, and then I could queue up, get accepted into an awesome group, and then just fucking let them see the shit show that is me in an organized run.
The first mistake is your Destro, so
yeah, you're right. Well, actually, we're there's quite a few Destros that are.
I've been seeing some Destros that are tearing
really good numbers.
We do not condone account sharing here, PvE.
Yeah, we don't. But I'm just saying, like, I was thinking, but like, I think, I don't know. The whole pug thing makes me nuts anyway. Because
it's a broken system. But like Rem and I, like we have to play this system if we want to further because we like climbing. We find a thrill in doing it. But at the moment, we have to play that system.
I wonder why Blizzard doesn't implement something like that for like dungeons or. Something similar to how, like, when you maybe not a segregated system.
So what was the bronze, gold, silver thing in Panda?
That was a wonderful system.
What was that?
Challenge mode.
That was challenge modes.
No, not challenge mode, but
Proving Grounds.
Proving
Grounds.
Oh
yes.
Proving Grounds.
Proving Grounds are awesome because they're purely character based. But Belle, I need to take a quick moment and tell my kids good night. I will be back in.
You're good. We're gonna move on to something less.
Perfect.
Yelly. I do wonder why. You're good. You're good.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good. I do wonder why. I do wonder why they don't have something like that for PvE content.
I don't know. They just found a way to break it yet. Is really
like so they could take and build off of whatever Raider IO is doing and build something internal that makes you have to prove yourself less to other people, but where your story's already told because it's through the game. You know? Does that make sense? I wonder why they don't take some of these adaptations that they do for some of their other games in the way that, like, even I guess it wouldn't work with WoW because of the way that WoW's played, but some type of, you know, where you have maybe you have a PvE rating because of the level of content that you do and how often you do that content.
But that would exactly be achievements right there, like when just
that's
said
AOTC. Yeah.
Not if Blizzard develops an internal system like they have with some of their other games, is what I'm saying.
It's just going to end up being a Raider IO in game though.
and people will still
if it works like a PvP rating.
So we'd rather just let outsiders control what we're doing then instead of bringing internal then. That makes, I mean, I get it. You guys are probably right about that.
If it works like PvP rating and it hurts me to help someone do a Mythic Plus, I'm going to be less likely to help if I'm actually in a competitive sense. Because
that wouldn't be fun for anybody.
Yeah.
So it's better to just queue up with randoms who judge you based off your score on a add-on that isn't Blizzard related. Makes sense.
You know, in this day and age, when all your friends work at different hours.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
I'm just saying, like,
really,
it just, I don't.
You have to depend on other sources than your friends when they're all busy.
And I'm pigeonholed. Well, Murky and I are both pigeonholed into doing this Raider IO.
Now run some Mythics, Bell?
No, she doesn't. She has a life.
You know what I had for dinner?
What'd you have?
I had a handful of chips and some fucking cheese dip because I did not
Copy on the shit on the shingle?
I didn't have anything to eat today. But it is probably my rebellious nature with a lot of these things. I do like some of the stuff that they did, that they talked about as far as like improving some of the broken traits and being more thoughtful when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like, I appreciate that effort.
The thing with Raider IO though too is like it doesn't only show you the dungeons they've cleared, but like you get a clear gauge of their item level, and you have to be responsible with this tool. But you can see who's paid to get carried because there's people that have versus who's actually, you know, attempted and gearing out doing these dungeons.
Guys,
you can see the amount of dungeons and all that.
I have to turn on. Yeah. I have to turn on my air conditioner. If those of you that are gonna bitch about it, I'm gonna need you to just be okay with it because literally, guys, I have fucking boob sweat. Okay, this is not okay.
I gotta urinate real quick.
This is not okay for my life to have boob sweat. I can't be like, guys. What are you doing?
I had to go to the restroom. I'm sorry.
If you guys hear my air, I'm sorry, guys. I don't have a choice. I have to. I just am. Shit is sweating. Okay. So next week we are going to talk about some of the stuff that's coming in 8.1. You guys know I like to wait. Guys, it was 82 degrees in here from this time I've had this air conditioner off.
Well, that's what my house is right now.
That's, you know, because, well, Remy,
well, she usually keeps it at like 68, so it's a big difference.
You know, because my door's closed and this is like a black hole of like no airflow. So yeah, 82 degrees explains why I was sweating.
Copy on the room being an anus.
So I think really the only reason why I didn't like this whole thing is because when I heard Fry's words in my head, I thought, well, if we don't be careful and if we aren't more thoughtful as players to be loud about something instead of accepting and say, oh, this is great that everybody gets to join along and have a grand old time. Sometimes it isn't. So us as players, even whether I'm right or wrong, you're right or wrong, the guy to the left is right or wrong, it gets the conversation going and it induces thought process there to have people analyze that and to look at it. And when this gets rolled out in 8.1, people can be mindful of, is this really a good thing? Is this a bad thing? What did we do here? Did we make it worse? That's really the whole, you know, striking up a conversation and putting it in everybody's brain. We have a tendency to sometimes...
Yeah, you gave me a couple aneurysms, yeah.
Well, like, sometimes we, as players, we have a tendency for our own selfish reasons, like ulting. where we're like, that's amazing for alting. But what about the guy who doesn't alt, right? Like, you just have to think about it from kind of all perspectives. And I really was upset that I got, you know, that I have good luck sometimes with gear, and I shouldn't because I don't deserve it. So I just want, you know, we don't really know what it looks like, right? We'll never really know until it comes to pass.
I mean, as we've all known, we've all looked at the forums every once in a while. Titan forging, war forging is just something we've never wanted. Thank God weapons can't Titan forge, because that would be...
What they need to do is remove war forging and Titan forging and add back reforging.
Yeah.
They're trying so hard to not. Like, you
They
can
wanted
tell
everything but that.
every little change that they make, it's like, oh, well, now we're going to... First we gave you Netherlight Crucible, then we're giving you Azurite traits, and then all this other stuff. Like, they're so trying to not say...
But if you... I don't know if you looked at the loot table, by the way, but the new Zul'Dazar dungeon, it actually has less versatility.
That's amazing. But it's
subject
like...
to change.
They don't want to say we were wrong. They don't want to say about reforging because this is probably one of the most asked about things, right?
Oh, yeah. No, it's funny about it. One of the explanations they had for reforging is as you're balancing all the stats on the gear and you remove that gear, some players get confused on what their actual stats are sitting at. You know what's more confusing is Titan forging, territory stats, sockets. They made it a lot more convoluted and confusing than they should have.
Yeah, because I'll get a higher item level piece of the same thing, but it will have a socket. But
like, if I could change all my versatility to haste or crit on my gear, I would be in heaven right now.
Yeah, I think they are just doing anything and everything they can to avoid saying, here, we'll give you reforging back, quit your bitching.
We've honored.
But, I mean...
Well, maybe with Alan learning how to eat his words, maybe we'll see some stuff change as well.
Yeah, I just feel like sometimes
you think you do, but you don't.
I feel like
this reminds me a lot of a conversation we had back in January, because I brought up reforging back then too. And yeah, it would solve a lot of problems because it would make it so that gear wasn't such a limitation to players.
Sorry guys, my back is killing me no matter which way I sit. It's just not getting any better. Guys, I'm messed up. I don't know. Like, that's why I'm so grumpy. My
hot flashes and all
my carpal tunnel, I got hot flashes, my back hurts, I'm starving, I'm
Hi, starving. I'm remedied.
So next week, probably little by little, I always like to wait until further into the data mining before we start talking a lot about 8.1
At least when it's
stuff.
solidified, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like panicking the masses. This was a very serious blue post, which is the only reason I was like, okay. But take it for what it's worth.
You get massages at work?
I'm getting massaged on Monday, Tuesday. Well, just the extremities.
What?
Yeah, I'm going.
What is that? I thought you were getting a CP. What's a
No, my doctor referred me to a chiropractor that also specializes in extremities, so he's going to do adjustments in both wrists for my carpal since it's gotten worse. I'm gonna see if he'll do a thing to my back.
So it's a phalange chiropractor guy.
Yeah, but I'm trying to get my back sliced and diced. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I need him to crack and move stuff back around and like put my spine in different places. They just need to do something because I'm an American with poor posture. So
it sounds like you need a crazy weekend.
It sounds like I need a tiny Asian to touch my back and my feet.
Oh, I know a place
that gotten weird.
that we can go to. They do the phalanges and all sorts of things.
There's nothing better than a tiny Asian massaging your feet.
Finish or something.
That massaging your feet, I'm referring to, you know, a nail salon where you get a medium putty.
They'll take care of
There's nothing compared to a tiny Asian touching your feet. It's like, what did you say?
I said they'll take care of all your.
Yeah, they do. They scrub all the weird stuff off your feet. Not that I'm saying I have weird stuff.
Oh, hello. You enjoy happy time?
What you want?
Oh, what you want?
We're probably offending people.
You want happy ending?
Is this a bannable offense?
I give you happy ending. And they all lived happily ever after. There, happy ending. Now go.
So before we move into the story time, which I'm actually kind of excited about this only because some of the dungeons, I think we talked about this last time Rem gave us some information. I kind of was looking for the purpose there, mostly because I didn't go through a lot of spoiler stuff pre-expansion, and I didn't do dungeon testing like I did last expansion. So I'm kind of excited about hearing the story because I'd like to know why I'm killing you or doing a thing. But before I do, I just want to tell you guys that today, actually like 2 hours before the show, I got a direct message on Twitter. And this direct message gave me information that I never thought I would hear. Like ever in my life. Ever. So I'm going to tell you guys and only you guys. Like I didn't tweet about it and all that. But I'm going to tell you guys and only you guys. So this casual, basic bitch fucking schmuck on the internet who 2 months ago decided that I was going to stop being a tryhard and doing all these things that everybody wanted me to do because I was sick of playing the game by their rules and I just wanted to have fun with my friends. I got a fucking media pass for BlizzCon.
What? What was that? What? Scared me.
Now, mind you,
Pterodactyl.
that was not what I thought I was going to read, but I did. And I didn't get it because I'm awesome. It was not because of me. Just want to make sure I'm clear about that. Somebody else.
Belle, you put in a lot of work on this.
No, but I didn't deserve it this time.
The problem is I'm ashamed, but she put me on the corner for the media.
But I didn't deserve any of it because this last, 6-7 months I've been not doing any of my normal things because I just needed a break. But no, I can't take any credit for it because I didn't even want to try this year. I literally was like, no, I'm not doing it.
So Belle, since you don't want it and you don't feel you deserve it, I do know a person who would love to get backstage at the PvP event and interview some people.
Here's the thing about that. That is the only reason that I'm going to use it because I've been trying to sneak backstage since my very first one. I don't know that this lets me backstage. I don't know what this gives
Probably
me.
does.
I know that I could do interviews and ask questions that they're gonna probably not let me ask, but I'm gonna try it anyway.
Like, what's your favorite taco?
Yeah,
Or
like
how
I'm
do you
probably
sleep?
gonna ask all the questions that they, whatever. But so with that being said, I'm not ungrateful because I wanted one since I became a content creator, right? And I, like everybody else, applied every year and got my rejection and all of those things. And this year I didn't want to deal with rejection and I didn't want to deal with how it makes me feel when I feel less than all these other guys that, work hard, but some of them don't work very hard. And it's kind of frustrating to see that, which maybe that's why the gear stuff upset me so much, right? But same like concept mirroring. But this was unexpected because I didn't...
So what you're saying is that you Titan forged.
I did.
You're kind of happy
You
about
don't deserve this.
I did, and
I don't deserve it. You're kind of
plan
happy
on.
about it.
I plan on using it to my full advantage. I plan on, seeing what I can get interviews with who. I don't necessarily want like all the famous guys. I want to talk to. Maybe I want to talk to the World Quest designer, or maybe I want to talk to specific elements that are important. Like, who the fuck is doing the PvP stuff right now? Who is this?
Well, and this is where
It's
Belle,
that dude with the weird smile.
I hope that you take that 375 gear and you make the most of it, even though you didn't deserve it. That you go forward and you live your life in a way that 375, that you earn it.
If this was last year, I would say that I earned the media badge, right? Like last year, but obviously this year I had what my brother calls midlife crisis, which is not what that was.
Who the fuck are we on the internet right now?
What?
Who the fuck are we?
But I'm excited because I will finally get to do things that years ago I wanted to do. So I plan on making the most of it. And really, I get access to clean bathrooms and free food. So like, who doesn't want that?
Huh.
So, but yes, I'm excited to see what abilities I have with that, honestly. So. Well,
while you're backstage, I'll be getting ice cream, laughing at you.
I will go with you, Bram.
Neither of you sit with me for PvP stuff, so it's not like you're going to be missing me. Let's be honest there.
That's because those chairs are uncomfortable.
I sit either by myself or I find Winstead and his co-host
Actually, that's a lie, because one year I sat with you for
Yeah,
at
the
least
year when
10
you
minutes.
loved me, but the next year you didn't love me, and you were like, "I'm not going to sit here and watch this with you," and I'm
The
like, "That's
chairs are
fine."
uncomfortable. Jesus.
Well,
I
there
will say,
sat.
I will say, this year I'm rooting for Method because Rub Cub's out.
Yeah, that made me a little sad because I do like the Cubster.
Yeah, his team just fell apart. Anyway, we'll get that to later.
How many teams is that now? Like 4?
Also, did anybody else see that tweet that happened where I was tagged because we collaborated? Listen, guys, I just want to, in the interest of full disclosure, I collaborated with my organization, and that organization then collaborated with another organization. So there was like a 3-degree collaboration, but in the interest of honesty, there was no direct collaborating in the sense
Only
of...
because it seemed like you guys were
Right.
friends.
Yeah, best of friends.
I
Right.
missed this completely, and I follow you on Twitter, so I have no idea what's
I
going
woke
on.
up to a tweet and was like, "You what? What do you mean? We collaborated? What?" Okay.
Well, people enjoy fancy talk, and really collaboration is just that we talked about something.
Well, and really, the larger part of that is I was going back through my messages from my video editor for Method, and I was like, what did I miss here? And he did say, hey, with this partnership we now have with Wowhead, some of your videos will be used as part of the requirements for this partnership. I did not realize that meant me. I assumed this was the high level boys, right? Certainly
See,
you're not going to
they
have
collaborated and you didn't listen.
Right, exactly. I didn't stop or listen.
Well, congratulations there.
So that was really awkward because I was like, fuck, I really hope that video wasn't shit. Because, but I just wanted to make sure I felt a little guilty because it feels weird to be dishonest on the internet, and while other people, and it's just PR and it's what they do. And I love that they said that they collaborated with me because I got follows and people were like, you must be somebody special. And then little did they find out they were just going to have access to my potty selfies. And like, here you thought you were going to get like all the answers of life, but really you're just getting like...
No, if they want all the answers of life, they need to come find my Twitter.
Yeah, you really do have some very deep thoughtfulness on your Twitter, to be perfectly honest. I should be more like you, really. Oh, I love your mom, Murky. She's literally like the best ever. Okay, so Rem, I need you to educate me on this dungeon that I'm pretty sure this is the dungeon I don't like, yes?
You don't like any dungeon.
No.
You don't like any of them.
No.
You don't like. You only like Freehold.
No,
I do love
Ataldazar is your least favorite.
Ataldazar. That's the one where I like rage the second we enter the dungeon, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, go.
Oh yeah, no, that's you, boo. That's all you.
So yeah, Tol Gagor, Dagor, whatever you want to call it. It is pretty much a smaller form of Tol Barad without all the big pit lords and Shafaras and all that
No
bad stuff.
Oculus Eye.
No Whispering Eyes.
Sadness.
But yeah, no, it's pretty much a prison. It holds all the bad guys and all the enemies of Ashbane, whether you're a good guy or a bad guy. Which is interesting because there actually are pirates inside Tol Dagor, but it's awkward because Ashbane actually works along the Iron Tide Raiders, but here and there. So the
Lady
bosses,
Ashbane?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
Lady 3-chain Ashbane.
Lady Big Booby Ashbane?
Thick.
No, that's like she's Dolly Parton style, you know what I'm saying?
Without the hips. Well, minus. I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyways, most of the
Minus the
bosses.
silicone.
Yeah, that too. It's full of pixels, not silicone. But so the
I don't
first
even
boss.
use silicone anymore. By the by, it's saline, guys.
Someone's been doing research.
That's awful. Because I have this habit of watching Botched. That's why. Now you guys know my gross secret that I watch stupid shit like Botched.
You watch all the
Wow.
weird girly stuff too, which is weird. Like, is that
The
Riverdale?
Kardashians, and I don't even feel
Yeah, the
bad.
Kardashians, but the Riverdale, isn't that like a high school
Yo,
bullshit?
you want to fight?
So that's like real life.
Do you want to fight? Because Riverdale's awesome. Do you want to fight?
Riverdale's real life Jughead and Archie, right? Like that's what.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I used to read
Oh,
Jughead
really?
and Archie's like.
Oh, I didn't know if it was like Archie. I just making fun of high
See
school
what
music
happens
and-
when you're a judgy fuck.
Yeah, we might actually enjoy it, Ram.
Anyway, back to
your
Blizzard.
downtown Abbey. But no, so the first boss doesn't really matter. It's just a giant Crawlusk. It's called the Sand Queen. It's pretty much the reason why we're able to escape in the first place when he first came to Cool Terrace is because that place wasn't guarded because of a giant man-eating Crawlusk cucumber thing.
Cucumber.
Yeah.
Sounds like my Friday night, honestly.
Whoa, there she goes.
So this place is run by Lady Ashbane and her minions. Yeah, there is a prison outbreak in the middle of our sneaking in of the things to get some keys, which is the reason why we're there, is to get keys for a chest that Harlan Sweet is in possession of because no one can touch his booty. So
Isn't that where like the Proudmoore people sent you when you like first start the expansion?
I mean everyone gets sent there for prison, but it's run by Ashbane.
Right.
Well, and I mean,
correct
me if I'm wrong. The whole reason we go back to the dungeon is because we're trying to find out what happened to Jaina.
Yes. We're trying to. So she's taking away, and we get the shipping contract. We get whatchamacallit, and then I can't remember the exact. But we find out a chest that Harlan Sweet has that has some information and it has 4 locks. We're able to unlock 3 of them, and we find out the 4th one is held by someone inside Tol Dagor. Always fuck it up. But yeah, I just had a brain fart. But the next boss is Jess Howlis. He is the impromptu leader of all the prisoners and the pirates that are inside the prison during the outbreak. And if you notice, actually, when you're going through the dungeon, you actually see the infighting between the guards and the prisoners. And it's just a nice little effect thrown in there. He is a Worgen, not really well known. He's just a random pirate, brigand, whatever you want to call him. Knight Captain Valeri, she is a pyromancer. They seem to be pretty popular in there because fucking everywhere. They're flamemancers or something other. But that's where the room that she's in is where the keys are at, that you get to find out stuff about Jaina and where she's at and find out that she's really dead almost because she's in the Blighted Lands, all that bad stuff. The last guy is Overseer Corgus. He is the warden of the prison. Not a lot is known about him. All we know is that Ashbane berates him and chastises him throughout the entire dungeon, saying, if you fail, we're going to feed you to the fishes, and the new guy is going to have to clean up your body. It's really just shows a little image of her type of person that she is, and it's no bueno.
Well, but just to be fair here, the new guy should always have to clean up the body because that's how you pay your dues when you're starting in an organization.
Why does it have to be a body?
Because if you don't, you'll be caught in the crossfire.
I just feel like it's important. Yeah, the new guy's supposed to clean up the body, and sometimes it's more than cleaning up the body.
Speaking of cleaning up the body, so going way off topic at the moment, but with my job, I do pest control, and I get a call for Jason Penny. Yeah.
This whole time, I thought you were a fucking doctor.
And I wish.
He does take care of bugs.
Yeah, and rats. That's where this leading, because you mentioned the dead body. So I get a call for J.C. Penney. It turns out that they had a rat somewhere, and one of the workers had like a rack and beat the living hell out of it.
That'd be me.
And it looked like a crime scene I had to clean up. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
You had to clean it up?
Yes.
Why did you have to clean it up?
Because he's the new guy.
I'm the new guy.
Ew, though.
It's gross. It was bad. There's blood everywhere. It was bad. It looked like a crime scene.
But I'm confused by that because we make
like
our
blood on the walls type of
clean up-
situation, or just smeared all over the carpet.
It was all over the floor. Some of it was on the wall. It was bad.
Oh, beautiful.
hitting an object that has current blood flowing and they're awake it spews out of the artery quicker when it's hit, just so you guys are aware. Better and quicker and faster, and the splatter goes farther if they're awake versus when they're asleep. Because, you know, your blood slows down. It's pumping when you're asleep and goes into, like, sleep mode. In case you were ever wondering how to get a high yield out of blood spatter, they should be alive and wiggling.
But you don't want to have as much blood splatter just because, one, there's a mess, and two, there's more evidence to be found.
Right. You do want to try to contain it unless you Dexter it up with a kill room.
That's a lot of work, though.
But worth it.
So is Raider.io, and here you are every day making it happen. See what I'm saying? Like, it all is...
Man, we're just, like, pulling from everywhere.
What is important to you?
Man.
I'm just trying to help you. You could be a killer.
Tying Bell's media pass to gear received with undeserved gear. And
yeah, we're just
digging
all day.
Tying Raider.io into other things that are just crap and bloody messes. And
exactly.
Yeah. It comes in full circle.
It really does.
Full circle.
It's what we're good at, right, Rem?
That's impressive. Full circle. Wow.
I'm going to mute and take my pills now because my back hurts.
But yeah, that's Toll de Gore. It's not a lot known about it just because it's still relatively new, but it's a lot like Toll Barad. It's like an Alcatraz. It's their Alcatraz, pretty much. I want to know where Capone was held, okay? Where is he in the cells?
Although, just for the, going along with the story of it, for people, if you have the opportunity to take a rogue to that dungeon, the dungeon becomes a lot easier.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, either a rogue or a blacksmith with keys, or actually Inscription has scrolls of unlocking now.
We do have scrolls of unlocking.
And you can open up the doors and...
Which I thought was a nice touch to the roleplay of the dungeon. Which, it's funny because we call it a dungeon when it actually is a dungeon.
Yeah.
So
it's the only one that's a legitimate dungeon.
Yeah. So... But, with the fact that you're able to bring in a rogue and he has the ability to open locks, and on the fight where you're fighting the Worgen gentleman, if you unlock all the cages first before you pull the boss, you get to kill all the ads that he would pull into the fight.
No,
so,
he still spawns ads, though.
They fixed
not
it.
as many, though. Oh, they fixed it?
They fixed it. So, at least on Mythic anyway, the ads still spawn out of the gates, even if we do take the time to kill them.
But do you know if that's true for Heroic and Normal?
That I don't know, because I've been in there since week 1.
There it is.
And he's not wrong.
There it is.
You're welcome.
I'm just going to let all of you at home just absorb that elitist comment that just happened right now. Just let it soak in and sprinkle.
That's how it is
all
every
around.
expansion, though. Is it not for you, bro?
Just listen.
Awkward.
I'm lucky. I haven't even logged in today. I didn't even log in yesterday. I did via my phone because I do my Rem said some fucking side-handed bullshit the end of last raid about you need to do your Azurite stuff, and I'm like, look, motherfucker, like I have shit to do. I can't game. It is physically impossible.
Did I do that?
But he's like, I'm 20, almost 21 for my necklace. I'm not.
We held some guildies in a Mythic.
Oh yeah, then there's that where I'm like, hey, are you gaming? It's like when I actually have time, and he's like, he'll respond a little bit later. Sorry, I was running guildies through Mythics. Oh, excuse me, Queen Sheba. I didn't aware you actually lifted a finger to help other people this one time. I needed you. You were doing something. I apologize.
You ever notice how it's only the time that he's helping other people is when you get in touch with him?
No, it's honestly that's because last night I logged into games so that the guild knew I was there, but I was AFK in my garrison because...
Yeah, if she's in her garrison, then you're not.
Yeah, look at those boxes.
That's quite the stack you
I'm
got
not even done.
there.
I still have like 8 or 9 to go tonight. I have 8 or 9 to go tonight, so the stuff can go out tomorrow. But yeah, I've been between that and doing the stuff.
What stuff is all that, Belle?
All the DitchCon backer stuff. I misordered, so there's 3 people who are not getting their rewards when I send out this other stuff. They're gonna have to wait an extra week because I miscounted the canvas.
What's DitchCon?
You know, it's this thing that people are doing and going places. So,
is it really a thing that people do? Really?
Apparently. It's quite popular among the...
Well, it's funny.
audience.
Murky mentioned, I think it was like a week or 2 ago, where was it a pug or was it one of your friends? Someone was mentioning DitchCon.
Bro, there's always people mentioning DitchCon around me. Like on Facebook, I know Belle's not on social media at the moment, but it's cool to see it get mentioned everywhere. Oh no, you're talking about the people I raid with that were actually talking about what they're doing. Yeah. So and actually the Pug Heroic raid that I go with, they were actually a couple of guys were talking about BlizzCon finally, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. I was just listening in. And they're like, I think we need to get tickets to these parties and stuff. And they're like, what? And I'm like, I'm linking the shit in their Discord for them. So I thought that was kind of cool. It's these people that I just met through random pugging. And we're talking about DitchCon.
You know what's really good for me, guys? So just in the last 2 weeks, I've been getting DMs on Twitter about people asking if I have a VIP list because they want to sign up all their teams to get VIP. And I'm like, have you read anything on ditchcon.com about what we are or what this party means? Because if you did, you wouldn't be asking if I had a VIP list for you to drink for free. My backers are drinking for free.
They see Bella on there like, oh.
But, like, it cracks me up because I'm like, clearly you didn't do any research as to what this party is because this is the opposite to VIP. Like, it is really the opposite of VIP.
It's for all the people who get left.
Exactly. But it makes me laugh.
Oh my god, it makes so much sense now, the name.
Oh my god, it's Jason Bourne.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god, it is Jason Bourne. Okay, before we transition into some PvP stuff.
Whoa, thank you, Morrow.
Morrow's the best, though. I love Morrow. But
Yeah.
I didn't. Thankfully, our BlizzCon 2018 group, I log into Facebook one time, and it was because, so I'm still moderator for the BlizzCon group, but I needed to check on the Pwnecast stuff, and I needed to check on DitchCon stuff, and I needed to check in on the group to, you know, they have a group chat that's only on Facebook. I see this image, and my heart stopped for a second because I was like, please let that be fake. Please let that be fake. But I got it right here, so I'm going to show you guys.
The best, you know what's funny about that is I would actually enjoy that closing ceremony. I'm the 1%, okay?
Well, so I don't dislike them, but anyway.
Funny.
So let me show you, and I also have a sampling.
Look at this graph.
Where does the fucking? Oh, because I put it on my thing. See? So here's the closing band, guys. All
Wow.
you.
All nonchalant like should
I can't hear or see what's going on.
Long story short, Nickelback is going to be the closing ceremony. It's
Look
awesome,
at
right?
this photograph.
Look at this graph.
I'm just kidding. It isn't Nickelback, guys.
Okay.
No, they're not really. It isn't Nickelback. That's why I was mad at Morrow, because he like guessed it, and I was like, fuck, how did he know? So
Maybe I'm happy. I'm not listening to what the.
guys, honestly, I didn't do that. I cannot take any credit for that. I stole that off the internet from whoever posted it in the group. And I know who posted it in the group, but I wouldn't give that fuck 5 minutes of FaceTime, let alone 5 minutes of a mention on the show or even in the toilet for that matter.
I stole it from somebody else, so.
But he posted this, and I was like, this is amazing. So I grabbed the audio clip too, because I was like, well, I can't show you guys this wonderful thing and not give you guys the audio that goes with it. And then I realized in watching, so I was watching the YouTube video, because it isn't a terrible song. They're not a terrible band, but I wouldn't go see them.
Not your favorite.
Not for that I wouldn't go, but I don't have to because it's the masses, right? But I was watching the video and I thought to myself, so like, as he's singing stuff, there's nothing going on in the video. He's just walking down on the road. Like he's saying like, what's on Joey's head? I don't know, fucker, what's on Joey's head? Because you haven't showed me Joey's head. Like the whole first half of the video was very frustrating to me because I didn't understand his walk down memory lane with no visuals.
I'm so confused at the moment.
All I know is that Joey doesn't share food, so.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Do me a favor. Do me a favor and tweet that so I can see it, because I'm totally oblivious to what you're talking about.
Oh, you didn't get to see.
Oh, you
them?
should have put that.
You don't have the Twitch up.
No, I don't.
Oh.
I think that's why I crashed earlier, is because I had like.
Do you have
Twitch,
Do you have a mobile phone?
Not here.
Oh well, I'll share with you. Well, you could watch it actually.
Yeah.
You said the second the show's over, you could watch it on Twitch.
Okay.
I basically shared the meme of the pretend Photoshop of Nickelback being the closing band, and then I played the Nickelback song.
Oh.
So I felt like I wanted to be funny, guys. I love that. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about what just happened there. But anyway, I figured like these two guys would have loved it, especially because both of
this
them.
is how you remind me.
It's true.
So.
Yeah.
I hate you.
Someday though. Okay, so. Oh God, my back. Seriously, like you don't understand. I'm dying. Okay. Guys, let's get our shit together. So, let's talk about PvP real quick, and then we're going to go into our Can You Nots and start winding things down. So, before I let Winstead kind of loose on... I'm going to have him talk about the highlights from the last...
Wait, now we're setting him loose? I was confused earlier.
Yeah, I mean, he has a free reign to be loose. I'm not judging.
I'm only as loose as I can be. I am wearing pants.
Ours doesn't flap back like yours.
We like them fast and loose. Well...
Do we?
Not fast, just so we're clear. But women and men's time is very different from each other.
Microwave oven.
That is the best fucking thing I've heard. I'm gonna get that tattooed on the back of my neck. Seriously, that is like amazing. Microwave or
beyond
oven.
redneck. Please don't.
Okay. I mean, I drink wine out of a mason jar. Was that not redneck enough or nah?
I mean, I would drink anything out of a mason jar.
You're right. Okay, so let's, I'm going to give you guys, so here's what we have for all the teams qualified for Blizzcon. So the, finale for the fall championships that happens this weekend, this is strictly for the money because all the teams have already qualified that are going. And
the points, so this whole past year, teams have been competing for points.
Yep.
And it's gotten to the point now where the accumulation of points, there is no possible way that anybody else could earn enough points to overtake the...
Right, because some of them had like, what, over 1,000. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, there's a couple teams that have a lot of points.
So I'm really happy both methods are on there.
Yep.
I think we knew that was going to happen because, I mean, it's method. But I don't know, man.
What is APAC?
That's like Australia. Mm-hmm. You want to know why I know that?
Australia Pacific. Okay.
I only know that because of my work.
Oh wait, Oceanic.
Yeah, and then so
I was gonna say something, but you never mind.
And that Aussies are on the we've offended list, mate.
Yeah, for sure. We offended them a long time ago. But also, I find it funny that China's team is pen and paper, not pineapple.
Oh, what about
pen?
Kiwis?
Not pineapple pen. What did you? Oh God! Now we're all gonna get killed. So
My mom's favorite video.
I feel like I'm really excited because I do like all the NA teams that are going.
And they did great. The teams that we have going are by far the most consistent teams in the NA region.
I love Peekaboo.
I mean, that's
spoiler alert.
I mean, we have a great lineup. So the three teams that have made it to BlizzCon in the NA is the Gosu crew, formerly known as the Move.
Yep.
Method Orange and Super Frogs.
Yep.
Those are the guys that have made it. They have had wonderful performances throughout the entire year. It's been a lot of fun to see them develop. And I will say, with the move into Battle for Azeroth, it would definitely show that new metas are developing and people are learning how to optimize their classes and their rotations and stuff. And there were a few teams that, you really expect to just be on the ball and nail it. And they were so far behind the curve. It was really just disappointing. But part of what made this last tournament so fun is that there were some brand new teams that came out of nowhere. And on our podcast, the one I do, Technically PvP, one of our co-hosts, Andolin, runs a little amateur league, is kind of how I put it. It's not Blizzard represented. It's just a tournament league that he runs.
Is this like porn after dark or
kind of? I would say it's like a.
Isn't it already after dark?
Well,
you have your AAA team. You have your AAA teams, and you have your AA teams. Well, a team showed up that got to decide the third place ranking for who's going to BlizzCon. and it was the neat, or I guess it's just neat.
It's just neat. Oh yeah, I don't know any of those guys.
No, they came out of nowhere. They were in that. What happened with them is that they won a Resurgence tournament, which is the organization that Andolin runs. They won a tournament and went, "Hey, we're kind of good. I think we could play with the big boys." And so they went into the tournament just, hey, we're going to try this. Brand new to the pro league. They went and took 4th.
That's because they're not dirty.
I'm just like, holy crap, these guys came out of nowhere, and it's so good to see that
blood.
new blood can be coming into the game, and that there are people out there who are incredibly good that, when given a little bit of encouragement, can really shine.
Well, so I don't know their team, but or the players, but are they active on the leaderboards in game, or are they completely out of nowhere?
Their Raider IO score is super high though, Rem, so they're right up your alley.
No, they're very consistent players. They're 2,400 rated players. Easily, they're in that ballpark, but they play really well together. They communicate well, and they showed up and really put up on the board that they deserve to be there. And I'm really sad to see that, because there's no way that they could go to Blizzcon. If they had won and taken first place, there's no way they could go to Blizzcon. But I know next year I'm going to be keeping an eye on that team. This is their first tournament. They showed up and took 4th.
I'm also really happy that Jamili isn't anywhere in there. And I know it meant at the sacrifice of Rub, I get it. We had to sacrifice the one for the needs of the many. But
and that was one of the teams that during their final match, I believe they were taken out by the Neat.
Ooh.
I think Rub Cub is too good to be playing with Jamili. That's my opinion.
Nope, sorry. The Rejects were taken out by Casca's Angels.
Oh, my dude, Dilly Poo. That's why.
Yeah, so it was a great tournament.
Dilly.
There were a couple of cross kills that happened during the event, which anytime you get a cross kill is just huge.
They were caught in the
crossfire.
You were a little slow there. You were a little slow.
I didn't know if he was going to do it. I apologize.
And the real big thing that I want to point out with the tournaments, because there were great things to see if you are any involved in arena PvP, definitely go watch them. You can start seeing the metas that are developing. And the EU and the US metas, I think, are going to be very... I'm going to be very intrigued to see what happens when the two metas clash.
Do you think that we might see a year where NA is going to win BlizzCon?
And that's where I think so. Because the EU meta right now is very around pushing the game long. And both teams are kind of playing that. A lot of Dispriest.
Okay.
Yeah, they want it long.
Most of us do, though. They're not wrong.
But the thing is...
It hurts.
The NA is coming in with comps that are incredibly fast, and every Disc Priest that showed up in the NA Cup got smashed. And
that's interesting because
EU revolves very heavily right now around a Disc Priest in their healer lineup.
God's always been the top of the food chain for many, many moons, and Disc Priest was always right up there. No matter what comp they had to have a Disc Priest.
Since the beginning of PvP in World of Warcraft, Disc Priest has been a very heavily favored PvP healer. The other one being Druid.
Well, that's how it always was. It used to always be Holy is PvE, Disc is PvP.
Yeah. And now what we're seeing right now, though, is that shamans have really stepped up into a place, and they're
it's so nice
very
to
powerful.
See that.
Isn't there a good shaman on Method? I'm confused.
Yeah, I think so. I'd have to rise up early in the morning to see what dude.
Absturge is a really good shaman who isn't Method, but I respect Absturge's game 150%.
Yeah, but no, the Resto Shaman has become a very powerful healer, and it does lend itself to being on these really aggressive teams because they have so many cooldowns that are just table flipping, in my opinion. You know, that you can almost have somebody dead, and then all of a sudden they're up to 70, or what would it be, 66% health from 0, you know.
Are any of these new comps and new metas changing involving Destro at all? Is there a Destro anywhere?
Unfortunately, not.
Although I see dude tweeted that he would like to see some Warlock love, and I'm like, my dude.
Well, and where Warlocks in general are suffering right now in PvP is their survivability.
And no haste anywhere. Anywhere.
I don't know too much about the class.
I can't pay a hooker to go and get me haste. That is how much haste there is not. I can't even pay a hooker off the street to go and get me haste.
I know that a lot of the complaint in the PvP community for Warlocks is that they have lost a lot of their survivability. And because of that loss, they just can't stay alive long enough to deal damage. Like, even Affliction Lock is suffering a lot because they just don't stay alive.
What survivability walls are they hitting?
Oh, just their mobility.
Well, when their health hits 0,
they lost one of their main survivability abilities when BFA started, and it was some kind of shield wall or barrier that reflected damage or something like that, I believe. I could be wrong about that.
No, we still
but I know there's a lot of complaints about...
We still have Dark Pack unless they choose to take something else that might be more beneficial in that row. But we have Unending Resolve and Dark Pack unless they've made changes PvP related that I am not aware of, which could be.
Well, and that's what I've been hearing. I don't play a Warlock, but a lot of their survivability and a lot of the burst of other classes tends to just wipe them out.
Oh, that's always been
there
the case, though.
There are outliers in Bell. There is hope for you. Okay.
Will it improve my Raider IO score so I can play with my friends?
Shut up.
But Destro can
hit on your doorstep.
I really think that there's a slot for Destro in 2s because they're not dealing so much with, you know, because you take away a third damager, and really when you push up into the higher ratings of 2s, you're facing a lot more healer DPS comps. And so when dealing with only 1 DPS, a Destro lock, when they fire off their Chaos Bolts, I mean, 2-3 Chaos Bolts, you can...
So, Destro and Disc.
2-3 Chaos Bolts to kill has been the only thing that's been consistent across all the things. Is I know 2, sometimes only 2, but usually 2, a Fear and 2-3 Chaos Bolts. But they changed the way that the Fear seems to break a lot easier than it used to. Also,
well, and what needs to happen if you're and Bell, when I hit 120 with my Disc Priest, well, probably not Disc. We'll probably have to try it with my Mistweaver.
Monk is what I'm leveling to.
I think heal. Disc Mistweaver, or sorry, Destruction Mistweaver would be good in 2s because there's no CC overlap, and the Mistweaver can peel a lot for the
paralysis, sweep, and all that. Yeah.
Paralysis, sweep, Ring of Peace.
And you have amazing bubble.
Yeah, the Ring of Peace bubble would be huge for Destruction Warlocks. You know, you throw that Ring of Peace down, and then it's just like the Destruction Warlock has 6 seconds to do whatever they want. And if you give them that time, I really think Destruction could tear somebody apart. So
I can do a lot in 6 seconds, like most men. So just...
That's all I need, yeah, 6 seconds.
So a Ring of Peace into a paralysis on the healer, followed by a few Chaos Bolts, and I think that you could be cleaning up a lot of 2s right now. I think that's what could happen. But, you know, that's just my personal opinion. But yeah, no, so the different metas that are forming up, I really am excited to see them clash, because if the NA is able to keep up their pressure against the Disciplined Priests, I really think that the EU is either going to have to change quickly or are going to get wiped out.
I would like to see a world where NA wins just once. I'm not even, selfish. Just one. But it also is,
been
I
a
do
very
believe,
long time.
EU's always been better. It just is what it is. They're more disciplined, and they know what it takes to win, even though US does. They just don't. US, they're just not as... I don't really know what the word is.
I know.
They're lazy sometimes, right?
NA does a lot more streaming, and so a lot of the good ideas and good comps kind of get spoiled.
Yeah, because they're so focused on their popularity and how many subs they have and how many followers they have and who's adding them on Twitter.
A guy's got to eat.
And how many girlfriends that get a fucking job like everybody else does. Get the fuck out of here. But yes,
so
US,
so
we're
the
way more concerned with visually images than working hardware. You're right. EU, they're in the background.
I'm not
pushing
even
through.
gonna say it's a difference of working hard. I'm gonna say that it's a difference of strategy, because the EU is very good about keeping their secret comps under wraps. NA,
So Skeletons in the Closet copy.
yeah, NA not so much. I mean, if you watch the streamers, if you watch NA, you generally know, unless they've done incredibly well, they might have one comp that they have in their back pocket that they could pull out to surprise people with. But for the most part, we know what the NA is bringing to BlizzCon. We
So
don't
sneaky
necessarily know. Yeah, we don't necessarily know what the EU is going to bring.
Don't mind me, guys. Anybody got a heating pad?
You know, Belle, you were complaining about the AC not being on.
I know,
Being too hot. And
It's
now
just for
you're
my
complaining
Now
back.
you're complaining about being decrepit. God.
cold and you need a heating pad. I mean,
know,
come on.
guys. I'm gonna just duct tape it to my back and walk around, and then I'll have the fan duct taped to the other side, and that way I got my hot and cold covered. I have old lady cream. I just have to wait till show's over to go.
Turtles
But,
made a tooth of water.
So who would you like to see win BlizzCon?
I would like to see Method Orange.
I'd like you to get a win.
NA Method is who I'd like to see win. Now, I think... I think it's going to be Method Black, though, that takes it. To be, if I'm completely honest. I think Method Black has been just so dominant that the statistical likelihood that they take it is just off the chart. I mean, to put it in perspective, guys.
Well, we thought
In
we
the
thought
point
Triforce
standing-
was going to take it because statistically
It's
they
true.
were massacring everybody.
It's true. It's true. And here's the thing, though, that I mean, you got to play the odds. If you're going to go to Vegas and bet on the arena tournament, you play the odds. And Method Black in the point standing is 300 to 400 points ahead of everybody else in the competition. Like second place in the EU would have to win 3 tournaments in order to catch back up to Method Black.
I think it's all on what underwear you put on that day for tournament.
Put on your big boy pants, boys.
But there's some real heavy hitters. Like
there's
Chanimal is a fucking veteran for the ages. Like,
oh gosh, there was a recent member swap on a team in the EU that they brought in. Oh, what was his name? But it was from Triforce. They basically got.
So
one of the
Botar went to Tempo.
Botar went to Tempo.
It hurt my feelings because I hate Tempo and I love Botar, so like I'm at odds inside my body right now.
No, but I mean they're pulling out all the stops. They're bringing Botar in for BlizzCon.
Botar's good though.
He is amazing. He is solid. He's a 2-time arena champion.
I don't know that he's. I don't.
But Method Black also has a 2-time Blizzard champion.
They do.
So I mean, it's going to be a very. I expect to see a lot of intensity on the EU.
Renee
side.
is nothing to sneeze at, so you might be right. You might very well be right because he's been doing this a really long time, and he's always been the real super quiet one. But he's fucking seriously skilled.
He's very solid.
I was happy to see that we kept him.
And that's where it's really going to come down to this meta that I see developing between EU and NA. NA is consistently putting out more damage in their arena matches than the EU. EU games are going longer. NA is putting out more damage. So
Maybe it'll be like a meet in the middle type of deal.
And that's what I'm wondering, because if you meet in the middle,
you have bacon.
The damage, the team that does more damage wins. And so if EU has this longer game strategy and the NA comes in with their aggressive play, if the EU cannot handle, because that's where, I mean, shoot, every disciplined priest that showed up in the NA tournament lost.
That's why Rem wants to go to Hunter.
Because he's a traitor of the priestly order and a huntard extraordinaire.
He was very mad at me. He messed
I thought that was her idea.
He messaged and he was like,
all me.
I didn't share it with him yet. I had put it in the drive and he was in there doing notes and he saw and he's all, first of all, I love it, but fuck you. And I was like, what did I do?
No, I was listening to the show, man, and I heard you say. I heard the conversation about the jumping off of the.
Well, Angie accepted my hunter main switching. God.
Well, and here's the funny part: is that if I don't know if she's told you, but there is another one that I did earlier that has. Let's see if I can remember it. Asking the deepest question, searching the void for answers. It's remedies.
Yeah, I told him that was one that he hadn't heard.
That was the original. That was
But
the
it
original.
doesn't
But when I
hold true
heard you jump
anymore.
ship, I know when you jump ship off a priest, how can I use that one? Hunters don't.
The priest is always at the top of the pyramid. The other ones are just.
He's still priesting because we're forcing him to priest, essentially. It's not because he wants to, because he would swap that hunter out in a fucking quicker than he would.
When they fixed Shadow, I would switch to DPS, but
Alina, don't transfer your priest over.
Oh, this is really terrible of me. And if I can express what's in my head in words, it's going to be really bad.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Something along the lines of he would switch to priest faster than an altar boy.
So funny story, really quick. For
I'm
about
pretty
2
sure
months,
he knows that was your priest name.
about 2 months, my priest name was Love Altar Boys.
It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible.
It lasted 2 months and got reported.
Terrible.
I'm surprised it lasted that long.
Right?
With that, let's move into the Can You Not, because I haven't really looked or had an inkling, but I feel like there might be some good Can You Nots, and I'm going to let Rem go first so he can blow off all that Raider.io burn steam.
Sorry, I pointed out a broken system.
No, again, it's broken, yes, but I have to play the game, okay?
Oh.
Yeah, it's the biggest piece of the broken pot that you have.
Don't
Gear
blame the
score is
player.
broken as well.
While you do
It
your
can't
Can You
hold
Not,
water.
I
It
am
can't
going
hold water, but
I'm going to have to convince my husband to go get me a burger while you do your Can You Not. So let's hear it. I want you to shock me with your emotional...
What kind of burger?
Culver's hello?
So my Can You Not is about loot drops. I'm putting a lot of emotion into this right now.
I'm dying. Okay, so I was on the hunter. I'm in a pug for a normal raid, and something drops, and I'm in a guild group, so I don't expect to get anything. I'm up front. I'm like, hey, if no one else in the guilds needs this, can I have a chance at rolling this or taking this? And so I whisper this guy, and he immediately freaks the fuck out and is yelling at me in all caps, telling me to calm down and to wait because he needs to look at everything. I'm like, first of all, fuck you. Second of all, I was being cordial and being nice by saying, hey, if no one needs this, can I have it? And this goes into a play where everyone's saying, whispering for loot is rude. Fucking what? Being rude would be, okay, so it can end up being rude, but at the same time...
This isn't a guild run doing this, right?
No, I was plugging into another guild.
Got it, okay.
No, we don't plug people.
Because I was like, nobody from my guild would do that, right? Because
But no, so like the way you ask and the tone you use in whispering someone can come off as rude. But if you're nice and cordial, then it's not rude. It's not rude to ask if you don't need the fucking piece. Just say no. It's fucking over with. Don't make it a big fucking deal. But yeah, I was being nice. He ended up being an asshole. I ended up getting the loot anyway because no one else needed it, and he wasn't bitter little bitch.
So it's not, if no one else needed it, then he wasn't getting whispered by 40 people at the same time. He legitimately was like...
He was just like freaking the fuck out. I don't know what his deal was. Either way, he needs to take a textbook lesson from anger management and seeing I feel pretty and calm down a little bit.
Can you breathe? Can you breathe? Breathe for me.
Can you not breathe? Maybe that's
Who's the pretty girl in the mirror there?
Oh my
What
god.
the
No,
hell?
that's gonna be stuck in my head. Please don't. Seriously.
I feel pretty.
Remedies. He
Yeah.
obviously didn't see your Raider.io score.
He
Otherwise, would
didn't.
have given you that gear.
Because on my
No, he
hunter, I
wouldn't
don't
have given him that
anything.
gear because he would be bitter.
Because on my hunter, I don't have Raider.
I text messaged my husband and said, if you buy me Culver's, I will show you my boobs. He hasn't read it yet, so I don't know.
And that opportunity went to waste.
Hey Travis, how long has it been?
You guys are fucking stupid.
You're gonna be out for like another hour, right?
But I'm trying to get somewhere with the dinners, but we'll see.
But yeah, so long story short of my can you not is, it is not rude to whisper you if you need the loot. Just say no. Don't be a dick.
Yeah, just because you get whispered isn't an obligation. You could just say, no, I need it, or no, thank you.
Like, I have anxiety, but if you're getting so much anxiety from someone whispering you about loot, you need to calm the fuck down.
Yeah,
It's not like you whispered him in caps locks.
Yeah, I'm not like,
That's like, okay.
That's how
I'm gonna sim this, you piece of shit!
That's how my mom talks to me on Facebook, and I'm like, Mom, why are you yelling at me? She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, your
She
caps
doesn't
lock.
know the difference.
And she's like, oh, it's yelling? I thought it meant you were excited.
does she think LOL is lots of love too?
I had to explain to her all of those things and what they meant, because to this day, when I do something like...
IDK, B5 Jill?
Yeah, well, if I do like, I forget what one of my favorite things that I used to put on there. My mom would be like, what does that mean? And I'm like, Jesus fuck, Mom. Like, I love her, but I'm going to need you to speak.
Oh no, one of my kids fell and bashed their head. LOL. That's the response you get. LOL.
Oh, that's
I'm
terrible.
so sorry.
Okay. Merc, give us your, can you not?
This is kind of a little PSA for people who decide to run Mythics and be a tryhard, because you eventually will want to be a tryhard and get that gear. But if you're running Freehold and you're just running it just for a chance of that Paramount, you're a dick. You're a fucking piece of shit. If you don't stand in the ring of booty and right-click those goddamn skulls with the rest of the party to catch that goddamn pig, because then you waste another 2 damn minutes chasing that stupid shit pig. Fuck you.
I only run it for the parrot, but I do try. I got the pig one time.
We mark it.
She would
when it's our
click the
group.
pig though.
Yeah, you would click
So
it.
what were they doing? They were just standing there?
They would just stand there like AFK, like far fucking North 40. Just, come on, get in the group. We even marked it. We told you where to stand. Just come here, right click the pig. Everybody who's running Mythics, they know. Like, just get that part of the fight over with. If you don't do it, then everybody's dicking around for like another minute.
Yeah, one run I was the only one that clicked it, and it wasn't even like a keystone. It was just like regular Mythic to do something for something other, and we're fucking chasing it around. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
If everybody does it, it's complete in not even 2 seconds. It's done. And before it hits the ground, the pig is caught. If
you catch a pig,
one person doesn't do it, it runs off, and then you're all running around.
I do agree with lazy in runs like that. And this was a Mythic Plus, I'm assuming, yeah?
It was a Mythic Plus.
So this means you guys did
be a team player.
You put a pug together, right? You put a... So people wanted to do it, obviously.
Right.
That's a very good one. I like that one. That's a good one.
I mean, it's a little PSA. If you didn't know, just stand right there. There's a pile of bones that march for the pig lands.
Or you could ask in the run.
Nah, it's a growing thing. I know it's still early in the expansion, but people are learning. But when you're doing 7s and 8s...
What was his Raider IO score, just out of curiosity?
I don't live off of Raider IO.
But you had to have if you guys put together a pug, did you not?
I joined the pug. I'm a lonely GPS.
So you mean somebody judged you by your numbers and also judged another individual who was not accurate?
Real talk, it could have been the group leader at the time who fucking did it. I didn't pay attention.
How funny.
I rolled my eyes, so just like, well, this sucks, because we could have probably 2-chested it, but we ended up 1-chesting a 7.
Oh, that's sad. Sadness.
That would be good stats to have, Kiko. I like that on my Raider IO profile. Okay.
I do think some mechanic things should be a part of that, if that's possible. Okay. So I haven't had a whole lot of WoW time, right?
Right.
But I need to do my auctions because I'm only at 2,600,000, right? I'm like, I haven't even hit 3 mil yet to get my Bronto, right?
Can I borrow some? I'm just kidding.
Right now, like any money you try to make on most servers, even mine, it's hard because there's 50 million things in there and everybody's undercutting everybody and everybody's fucking selling their sister to pay their brother. Like, it's a whole shit show in the auction house. So there are things that I do pretty well at, so I try to just do those things when I, like my inscription, the contracts. I do really good with the contracts. Even though they're cheap, if I do a ton of them, you know, it's still good business, right? So I crafted a good few of them and I put them in the auction house. I go to collect my my auction house things, and I noticed the same person bought all my contracts, and I thought, well, that's weird. They must be super focused on all of their reputations, right? I make more because I was like, this is great. Now I undercut by like 20 gold. I'm not like an asshole, and I don't undercut by like, you know, a lot. And they're only like 200 gold. That's all they are. They're only 200 gold.
So you sold it for a copper?
No, but like I'm pretty sure I put mine in for like 250. They were like, it was like 280. I only undercut it by 20 gold. So I make more, and I go, this is probably 30, 45 minutes from now, because I've taken a break in between the boxing stuff, which is essentially when my back hurts. And I go and I'm like, wow, I got enough made. Let's go put some more in the auction house. So, you know, your add-on shows you all the ones that are up. Can you fucking believe the person that bought all my contracts put all my contracts back up in the fucking auction house for double the price?
So you're upset about capitalism?
No, I'm upset because you're a greedy cunt. That's why I'm upset. So maybe
Capitalism.
you could not take my hard-earned crafted stuff that I was nice and only undercutted by 20, and you buy all my shit, and then you fucking sidewalk Charlie, swap meet Louie, and fucking throw all that shit in the auction house.
I'm gonna find all your postings now.
Because you're a greedy cunt. That's
what you do, Belle. What you do, Belle, is that you post your stuff for 1 copper less, and then you send him an in-game mail saying thanks. That's how you cut the throat on the auction house.
I should have bought them all and then sent them all back to him.
This is what we do to Mexico every day.
That's terrible that we do that. That's so that's so sad.
Hey, vato, we appreciate it.
Seriously though, like
somebody needs to buy our stuff.
I mean, even our U.S.
no
flags
one here.
made in Mexico. So
but like we could make money in the auction house, and we could do some things, and you could be smart and snipe people. Like that one time I put a lot of fucking stirrups and shit in the fucking auction house for cheap on my horde side, and somebody sniped that shit because they're greedy cunts also. But like, please don't take all my hard-earned crafted stuff that I craft with love.
But you're still getting
I sit in my garrison and I craft with love.
But
all
you're still
my
getting
love,
your money.
all my emotions, everything I am is in everything that I craft, and I love
That guy
me.
just shit on your love and
Yeah,
made
he
a buck.
took them and then used them for his own selfish
But
gains.
you still got your gold.
Belle,
That's not the
Belle,
point.
Belle, am I to understand that you've now been pimped?
I have essentially, yes. That is essentially what just happened.
So Belle doesn't like capitalism or gold. Interesting.
No, I don't like greedy cunts. You can be a capitalist and not be a greedy cunt.
No, that goes hand in hand.
No, there's some people that balance
no,
it well.
I agree with Belle. You don't have to be. You don't have to
I
be.
mean, you don't have to be, but I'm just saying it goes hand in hand.
So,
it's easy for it to go hand in hand.
I was so goddamn
Well, I mean-
mad. I didn't
I mean,
even
Ram-
put those contracts in there. Those are all still sitting on my fucking bag, and I was like, I'm not even like I'm gonna
Belle,
not do it.
undercut him by a copper, and then send him an in-game mail saying thanks.
If he brought the market up on it, just
thanks. You got your 250 gold, and now you're posting for even more, and you're undercutting him by a copper, so you're still going to appear higher on that list in the auction house when somebody's looking for the lowest price. Because as people, I'm sorry, Belle, I bet your love is amazing. I bet your love can just
pooped
heal
all over
the soul.
my love.
I bet your love could heal the soul. But in the end, all we want out of the auction house is the cheapest piece.
That's all
Of ass.
most men want out of any store or.
that's not love, that's coochie.
Oh my god!
But
I just wanted a delicious steak dinner at the Ponderosa. Fuck.
Send him in-game mail saying thanks for the gold, and then undercut him by a copper.
Well, I took a screenshot. I was gonna write him a mean letter.
No, and
Dear Royal,
just say
she's having a BF.
thanks for the gold and undercut him by a copper, and send him a COD at 1 copper less than what he's posting.
Well, that's a good idea. I like that idea.
That's spiteful, but funny.
So the only reason really that I was just like, well, so now in my brain, I don't know if it's because I'm jealous that he got it figured out or if he's a greedy cunt. I'm pretty sure it's because he's a greedy cunt, but
Probably a little bit of both.
it could also be because he figured it out and, you know, I'd been had, essentially. Well, not really. Like, he bought my goods, but then he just
We can't buy your stuff and we can't undercut you.
He just resold them, like, they're just worthless and useless. Like how
much did he sell them for?
500,
double? So I put
double.
them in. I put them in at. I'm pretty sure I listed them at 240 each. Well,
But
most
that's the
of them.
thing,
There's
they actually sell.
There's a couple others that are like 100, 150 that aren't that much. But yeah, it was double.
He cleaned out the entire. He reset the market. Is basically what
Yeah.
you're saying. He bought everything and reset the market at 500.
Well, I should have went in there and put that shit up for 50 gold and see how he liked.
Oh,
it.
so he's Enron. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, basically. So, yeah, it's you know, it offended me a little bit. It hurt my.
I mean, but
you know.
but in the end, people benefit from the excesses of capitalism.
That's something Trump would say.
It's a true statement, though, because without excess, how can you give to somebody unless you have more than what you need?
I
'Cause if
give
you
when I don't
have-
have more than what I need. I give when I barely
I
have
know
any.
you can, but Belle, then you're hurting yourself, and you're hurting your ability to produce because you have limited what you have.
Oh, he's a philosopher now, is
But
he?
your quality
Oh,
of
I'm
life,
always
your
lost.
quality of life is only as good as the people's quality of life around you. If I'm doing well and I'm good and I'm not don't need for anything, but if
At
the people
least I'm safe inside my
But that-
mind.
if
that's
the
exactly
people
the
around me are struggling, it might as well be me struggling. That's how.
But Belle,
the
in order
brain-
for you to be able to help somebody, you have to be at a higher plateau. Otherwise, you're just being stepped on. In order to be able to lift people up, you have to be in a higher place.
So you're saying I need to win the lottery?
Yes.
Run more mythics.
Pretty
That,
much.
or, I mean,
Run
there's
more
two
mythics,
ways-
got it.
There's two ways you can help people.
Oh, no, there's two ways as well. You get your Raider IO up,
Yeah.
or you win the lottery.
That's on my
but
list of
you
stuff.
can you can either reach down and help people up, or you can get stepped on and crushed as they climb. And so it's really your choice of, you know, if you are a good person, you put yourself in that higher position so that then you can turn around and with your excesses raise the people around you, or you get crushed and then your life is miserable.
What if you just tell everybody to fuck off and watch Netflix? Is that equivalent to the same?
That's just enjoying where you're at. That's preventing from being stepped on, but not helping helping people around you.
That's a happy medium, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a fine
So
place
you're
to
saying,
be.
in a sense, I helped contribute to this economical situation that's going on, and I did a good deed by being accepting of the greedy cunt.
Yeah, and that's why you should thank him and send him a COD at 1 copper less.
I'm gonna do that. Actually, that's a good idea.
You should.
I'm gonna do that.
You should, especially if you got a screenshot of his name.
I did. Yeah, I
Do
took a
that.
screenshot because I'm like, I don't have the mental bandwidth to deal with this now, but I will. It's gonna, and I'll probably forget about it until I'm not grumpy, which I anticipate that to be after BlizzCon. Was that a cat or a kid?
Oh my god,
That
everybody's
was
getting...
someone outside.
I think Winston's coming to your place.
It was either a cat or a kid.
No, someone outside.
It wasn't
my
your
friend.
daughter.
It's a wife.
Oh, I thought it was Rem's daughter
No, it's
or
someone,
his wife
Oh,
someone
or
outside.
his,
no,
or his
I got-
wife.
I got a wife. Hold on, one. I'll just mute myself.
I
You guys
finally
can-
got to see the wife on camera.
I thought
Well,
that was
I
a
got to
kid.
see like parts of her.
I thought that was a kid poking her.
That makes it sound worse.
Yeah. Well, they already have a girl. They have a tiny toddler. He's happily Daddy Rem.
Papa Ram.
I asked while I'm going to transition into closing and wrapping things up for the show.
Wait. I don't get a. Can you not?
Did you have
Oh, do
one?
you have one?
Oh, I can pull one up real
Oh,
quick.
shit,
because I'm-
excuse
Hell
me.
yeah.
I
I'm spurred at the
apologize.
moment. Okay, so
Who the fuck is this guy?
I have been leveling like a madman for the past 6 months. I have taken 4 classes from 0 to 110 in 4 months. Okay. I have been beating my head.
Those are rookie numbers.
I know. Man, I have a full-time job. I have 2 kids and a wife. I've been waking up at 5 a.m.
Oh, I understand the wife thing.
Yeah, to play for an hour every day to burn off as much rested XP as I can from these 4 classes. Okay, and I get out to BFA. I'm now there. Perfect. I start into the questing events. Okay, cool. I understand that in war mode, I flag myself for PvP. Okay, I got it.
Uh-huh.
I'm
Oh,
there.
boy.
I'm in for it. Okay. But can you not camp? I mean, good Lord.
That's
I'm a 110 and I show up. I'm just questing. I see you. I wave. I keep going and you kill me. Cool. Got it. PvP. Okay. I come back to my body. A decent man. Cool. We faced each other. You are the better man. March on. No. Those freaking bastards want to just sit there and farm my ass. So I go get my main and have to chase them off. And I'm just like, dude, you are killing me, killing my leveling time.
So essentially,
leveling time.
Instead of being a good guy, showing that he has a bigger dick, now he has a little tiny pecker saying, I'm going to camp you now.
Yeah, no, it's like, dude, I mean, shoot. I understand. I mean, I love World PvP. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm. Samesies.
It's a lot of fun to be out in the world and then suddenly get attacked and then need to respond in a heartbeat so that you don't die. And those moments where you get attacked and you win.
Oh, especially if there's more of them. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, you just walk away going, fuck yeah.
I'm so hard right now.
I am. My blood is throbbing right now, man. Like, dude. But anyway, okay, cool. You killed me. I got it. You know, I'm 110. And so it got to the point I gave up, and now I'm just leveling through islands.
How is that? I heard that was actually feasible now.
Yeah, no, I'm getting about a level per hour.
Shit. My man.
So, I mean, if you... Oh, and okay, cool. So right now, if you're a healer, this week, okay, there's a special item that costs two doubloons.
The doubloons.
Doubloons, thank you. You get 2 doubloons. You buy, it's a little crystal. And it basically says, whenever you heal somebody, you deal damage.
Oh, shit.
If you're a disc priest, every time you cast an instant spell, I'm doing 10k damage to everything around me.
That's OP.
And so I'm suddenly this tank. And I mean, seriously, it was like Island Expedition between...
How does that work with disc then? Because you're also... Oh, shit.
It's exactly what you think it is. I put a bubble on 3 people, and I do one of my chastise.
Uh-huh.
I'm healing 3 people. I get 3 procs.
Crossfire.
I do 30. I do 30,000 damage, and I am tearing through these islands. I went from 10 minutes an island to 5 minutes an island.
Because I don't do expeditions until like Saturday or Sunday, just because work sometimes overflows into the
his radio hour
afternoon.
Has to come before Island
But no, get your disc priest. Now is the perfect time to farm AP. You talk to the little Draenei chick.
That'd be OP for Mythic.
Crystal. Yeah, it's a crystal. It can only be used on the island, but it's a crystal. It costs 2 doubloons. You buy it, you use it. It lasts 15 minutes. I burn through the island before I hit 10 minutes.
I just want you to know that I only know what doubloons is because my children used to watch Jake and the Neverland Pirates. So I just want you to know.
Jake and the Neverland Pirates.
Yes, children. That's how he knows. That's how you. Whenever you and other adults can sing the songs of children's shows, you know that your life is going down the drain.
Fruit salad, yummy, yummy.
Oh my god. The camping thing has been a huge topic several times because I agree. What value am I bringing to you that you have to camp me? Seriously, feel more like a man by taking on somebody bigger, right? Like.
Yeah. No, and so what I do is I mean healing is broken in World PvP right now. Okay. If I'm on my Resto Shaman, I need at least 3 DPS on me to kill me. Otherwise, I just live and I chase them away. And that's how I've been having to play it when I was doing questing. Is that I just have to have my 120 shaman somewhere close to where I was questing. So that when I started getting camped, I could be like, "All right, that bitch."
Yeah.
Bringing out my resto.
I think.
Get ready to face this totem.
Whoa, that sounded like it should be on a greeting card. Well, listen, I just want you to know that the husband didn't even ask questions. He said, "Going now." Going now. That's what he said. I don't know when he sent that, but
I can show him my boobs too.
He is. He's going now. So I guess I won. I won the battle. It wasn't even a battle. He was in it. But guys, I really cannot sit in one position any longer, and it's going to get a manner of inappropriate because I'm going to need to sprawl out in order to finish doing what I need to do at the computer. So we're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna wrap this up. Hey, Winstead, tell people how they can stalk you, find you, tweet you. But he's not single, ladies, and I love his wife, so let's keep it dick pics only.
Well, it's funny because
Okay,
my
hang
wife,
on.
be careful with sending me the dick pics because my wife often like just grabs my phone and starts flipping through it, as all women do.
That's
But
even better.
at least she
Laughing.
would respect
Belle's
that.
laughing, but it's true. She will. I know because all women do this. They'll randomly pick up their significant other's phone and just turn it on and then start. I wonder what he's texting.
Yeah, don't look at Dark's.
I haven't done that in a long
messages.
time because all he does is watch stupid fucking YouTube videos and fucking Vines all day, so it brings me zero value. But yes, when he had a life and did things, yes, it was just curiosity.
Yeah, no, it's just, and it's not malicious. It's not like I think he's cheating. No, it's just like I wonder what he's doing. Oh, that's what he's doing. So, but anyway, I am Winstead 84 on Twitter. I am on the Technically PvP podcast where we talk a lot about improving our PvP skills, about comps, about strategies, about classes. We cover the whole gambit with the new expansion. We're kind of in a good reset area where we're kind of starting over on what the new classes are facing and everything. And so please come give us a listen over there at Technically PvP on iTunes, Stitcher, or pretty much wherever you want to listen to podcasts. And then, yeah, so if you want deep, thought-provoking thoughts and messages, I do have some fun things on my Twitter that I do every now and then, and I think I'll probably start doing more of them because apparently people like it. So
I do listen to I listen to yours, and there's 3 or 4 others that I listen to while I'm working.
But yeah, oh, and then a little side note, not necessarily podcast related, but a big reason that I'm in this booth is that I've started doing some minor voiceover stuff. I'm running a CAD E100S microphone. This thing's a $500 microphone. I built this sound booth, which was around $500.
Because please say you were going to say I built the city.
I built this city on rock and roll.
So hold on, voiceovers, right?
Voiceovers.
Because we're doing a thing.
We're making a commercial.
We're making
a commercial.
We're making a series of commercials for my new brothel, our new brothel. So I'm gonna need your voiceover work.
Well, if you would be wanting voiceover work,
oh yes.
Tell me what you want, and I can give it.
Oh my God, Schmitty, I love it. Yeah, we're gonna need to use you. So now you're gonna be pro voiceover, maybe do voiceovers.
I'm actually here's the first project that I'm doing. It's not paid, but they recently released the 2 books for the collector's edition, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I am going to I'm going to read those books in voiceover, and then send it to Blizzard, and hopefully they'll publish it.
Can you read it in the Ron Burgundy voice, or?
I'm Ron Burgundy?
I'm Ron Burgundy. I'm Ron Burgundy?
Oh my God. I didn't think you could sound like Will Ferrell. That's amazing. You're way funner than my other friends.
Will Ferrell's not that hard because you just gotta.
Because he's limp.
Remind me what the dog's name is. From
Baxter.
Baxter! Baxter, please come back! Please, Baxter! No!
See? You could have been him.
It's not that hard. Or
that could have been your career the whole time.
You ate the whole cheese. Oh, that's impressive.
I'm not even mad.
Not even mad. Yeah. No, but I got a lot of different accents. I've got a lot of different tones, monsters, creepy things.
I respect Nobble's work and all that, but I don't like Nobble. Spoiler alert!
Oh, somebody's talking about Nobble?
Yeah, I don't like him. I'll tell you why. Because 3 years ago, 3 years ago, I wanted to bring him on to. There was something we were theory crafting, and I wanted to talk about it. And I got an email 4 months later responding, telling me that he was entirely too busy. But it was 4 months later that I got the response.
Oh wow!
And I just thought, fuck you, guy. Like seriously, take your lore and stick it up your fucking ass. So.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, see, you are a new Nobble. Like, you're the better version.
But he's not a knobhead, so he's...
Right, and you're not a dick, so we'll... But, guys, you should... I hope, because if not, your wife's in for a surprise.
I personally think it's substantial, but you know.
Men always do, though. Men always do.
I just want to listen to the book with Windstallen. Like, that sounds fun.
I mean, my goal for the book is to have a special voice for every character throughout the entire thing. I've been working on my Jamaican, listening to Cool Runnings. So,
that's the most Jamaican you're gonna get, motherfucker. Seriously. Oh my god, I love Cool Runnings.
Yeah, it did. I see pride. I see power. I see one badass motherfucker who don't take no crap from nobody.
See, he's already black. Are we allowed to say that on air?
So,
I believe so.
So
maybe.
I love you all, but I have to wrap things up because I am dying little by little. And
so if so as a side note, if anybody wants some voiceover work, I will be available.
Throw stuff at him. Follow him on Twitter, please. Listen to his show. Watch his show.
Oh yeah, speaking of Twitter, I sent you a dick pic.
I didn't send it yet. I was gonna wait till after the show.
Yeah, he was gonna wait till after. He likes to surprise your inbox.
Windstallen is not impressed.
Give follow Technically PvP on Twitter as well. But give them some support. So most of you probably don't remember, or what I think we told the story when you were on. I think it was in January, right? January.
Mm-hmm.
So Winstead, many moons ago, he messaged me because he wanted to start a podcast. He needed help starting a podcast, and I thought to myself, why the fuck you asking me? I'm like the worst person ever. Like, Scrub City, why? But then somebody else was like, do you tell them? What do you mean, do I tell them? Well, do you help them? Why wouldn't I? Well, because that's competition. Competition for what? Head retard at the retard camp? Like, what? I don't understand. What is the competition here? We're all the same group of people.
Build people up here.
The more the merrier, in my opinion. Like,
yeah, if you whisper me, I can build up your Raider IO.
For a small fee.
Then you might get in the same group, the dude that didn't click the fucking pig, man. That could be you. That could be you.
That's minus 12 points.
Yes, the competition for king shit of fuck mountain. That's right.
minus 12 DKP.
Many whelps handle it. But I
More dots.
oh my god, now I'm gonna be saying that for the next week. But I loved that I got to watch him be growing and growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. Then I see this stuff on Twitter where he's like getting these big PvP guys on the show, and I'm just like smiling while I'm in the bathroom taking a poo, and I'm like, oh man, he's just fucking killing it.
No, and it's been great. It's been great.
Good.
And for anybody else wanting to start a podcast, dude, man, of all the different podcast communities out there, Blizzard podcasts are the best because it is very, like, I have not run into a single podcast that in any way, shape, or form has been any way
Yeah, people are very
cutthroatish.
accepting. They're very
Talk about eating ass here.
Yeah.
But
We also equally hate other groups of people as a podcast.
I think it's a matter of that, like, the Blizzard community just hates all other communities.
We do.
And so there's no animosity between in the community itself. It's very much an us versus them.
Yeah, and it's nice to, podcasting is essentially a dying art. Not really, but I mean, they say that.
No,
it really isn't.
I tell you what, Joe Rogan podcast, like, I mean, for people out there.
I have to listen to Joe Rogan every day, whether I want to or not, because my husband
Joe
walks in every room with Joe Rogan on speaker.
More people listen to Joe Rogan than MSNBC,
I know.
CNN, and ABC.
He really is easy to listen to, real talk. I would love to be on Joe Rogan's show.
Combined.
Yeah.
Like, more people get their information from Joe Rogan than cable news.
Well, who even watches the news anyway? It's all fake.
Fake news.
Alternative facts. So go follow
You
Winstead.
are fake news.
Go follow him. Go follow Technically PvP. When you follow him on Twitter, tweet to him that Ponecast sent you, Bell sent you, Murky sent you, Rem sent you if you link your Raider IO profile. But thank you for coming on the show and
Was a pleasure.
hanging out with us. And maybe you have to feed Windstallen now, or did you want Windstallen to?
My hopeful goal is that he may not wake up for another several hours. I left him with the kids, so I'm pretty sure that he's
dead.
He's in a dog kennel probably right now.
He probably is in the dog kennel.
I'm alive. The blood will splatter and gush and what have you.
No, if he's awake.
Twice the reach as if he's asleep. Just so you know. Just so you know. If you're trying to get it into like a barrel for easy cleanup, but it is twice the reach. Yeah, because never mind. We'll go into that another time. I'm gonna teach you guys how to properly commit crime.
When you're older, we'll have that conversation.
Yeah, when you're a big boy murky, instead of a little boy murky,
I'm a big kid now.
Oh my god. Okay.
I'm a man.
Thank you guys for being here. I apologize that I was not at my most posturous, but stuff hurts and I'm old.
We'll be sitting here for 3 hours, so...
Next week...
we still love you all anyway.
We're gonna do stuff. Thank you for being a part of our lives and love us, and please no dick pics.
Starts a bell.
Well... maybe my husband, I don't... Oh my god, seriously?
No, but seriously, I sent you a dick pic. You should check it out.
Well,
Richard Dick?
It probably was legit a dick pic, though.
Or a rooster.
A cock?
Rem's been branching out in his, you know...
His modeling
his
career?
proclivities.
Did you Sharpie anything on it?
That's Murky. You got him confused.
Yeah, that's me.
Murky is the dick sharpening queen.
Murky's the one with the landscape good enough to actually...
I have a little Santa hat for that guy.
What do you mean? You have a Santa hat?
It came off like a Tito's bottle around Christmas time. I was like, wow, the top of that Tito's bottle is...
Why doesn't
like
Santa
that.
Claus Santa Claus have any children? Because he only comes once a year and it's always down the chimney.
Oh my god.
You guys are terrible people. This is why we're never going to be famous, guys.
It's getting late and I'm tired.
We're never going to... No one's ever going to take us seriously.
Who cares?
And they shouldn't. They shouldn't.
I agree. I didn't have any fun being serious.
The day is mine.
Okay, guys, we're going to test... I got to stop stream. We're going to test if the button works.